Hi, everybody. I'm Alan Locher, the host of the Locher Room. I'm so excited you're all here for the 17th annual Daytime Stars and Strikes benefit for autism. To get us started, I would like to introduce the two actors who were so instrumental in launching Daytime Stars and Strikes back in 2004 and continuing its success year after year after year. Please welcome to the Locher Room, Jerry verDorn and Liz Keifer.
Thank you, Alan. And Alan, you have quietly become the best MC on the internet, and we're lucky to have you. Welcome, everybody, to the 17th annual Daytime Stars and Strikes event. I'm sorry that we can't do this in person. It's not quite feasible yet, but we will get there. But we did not want to miss out on a year, especially a year like 17 that we spent together. So thank you for joining us on this wonderful autumn Sunday afternoon. Now, the reason we're here is to have a little fun. We're going to do a few laps around memory lane. And if memory fails us, we'll make some stuff up. And the reason that we're here is that to raise awareness and funds for the Autism Society of America. And here to tell you all about it, my co-host from heaven, Elizabeth Keifer. Hello, Liz.
Thanks, Jerry and Alan. Yeah, it's so good to see you guys. Absolutely. We're here with an incredible group of guiding light actors today. So we're going to have fun and share stories, answer questions, but most importantly, raise funds for a cause near and dear to us. And hopefully brighten your Sunday because it's a fall day here. Like, wow, kind of beautiful. So please do visit us at www.starsandstrikes.com. You are welcome to donate any amount that you wish, so we can help those on the autism spectrum, because we are here to help the children diagnosed with autism to become successful adults with autism. So important. So thank you.
So important. So important. So excited to see you both. 17 years you've been doing this. You know, when you think back to 2004, does anything pop to your minds?
Chaos, card table, a couple of folding chairs, a bowling alley.
A lot of noise.
We're sort of breaking ground because some of the actors didn't want to do it for this reason, in that there was no border between the fans, the viewers, and the actors. I mean, there was no guards, there was no physical barrier, and a lot of the actors were worried about, we're actually going to go bowling and what are we going to do here? What if it gets out of hand? Well, in those days, it was for the Cancer Society, and a lot of people had a purpose to be there other than, just to freak out. So it worked out very well, but we had no idea what we were doing. We had no idea what to expect. And all I remember is a couple of actors standing on folding chairs at the end of the day with a microphone in their hand saying, please give for this, and they were holding up a book or a script or whatever. So it was chaos, but a lot of fun. And Wendy, Liz, and myself, we learned an awful lot on that day.
Yeah, we sure did.
Well, we've got an incredible lineup today. We've got a lot of people waiting in the wings to help us kick off this Sunday's shindig. Let's get the life of all guiding light parties involved, Mr. Michael O'Leary, who will join us to co-host today's festivities.
Yeah.
Hey, good to see everybody.
Hey, Mikey.
Hi, Mikey.
Hi, everybody.
How you doing?
I'm good, Jer Bear. How are you?
Good, excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, Lizzie.
Hey, Mikey.
Isn't it, here we are again, and it seems like we coalesce, this once a year for this. And I miss everybody.
Yeah.
I really miss everybody. And, Jerry and I got a chance to work. Jerry, that was how long ago? A year and a half ago that we did the Venice thing? Yeah, at least. And Lizzie,
oh my God, so funny.
Yeah. Nice couple.
Yeah,
nice couple, exactly.
No, we were a nice couple. Yeah.
Yes,
That was
for sure.
And ironically, for all the years I was on the show, Jerry and I mean, we didn't work together a lot, did we, Jerry? I mean,
not that much until the twins.
Yeah, until the twins came, which is a whole nother.
We'll get into that.
We'll get into that later. But yeah, that was those 3 months that we all worked together was the highlight of my tenure at Guiding Light. We laughed and just thought this is just too good to be true to do that story with Liz and Jerry. It was so much fun. It was so much fun.
Well, guys, I'm going to try and keep us to schedule. So
okay.
I'm going to see you in a little while. I'm going to bring out Wendy. So let's bring out Wendy Medor, who with Jerry and Liz has created this wonderful event, Daytime Stars and Strikes. Hey, Wendy.
Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Hey, Wendy.
Good. Hi, Wendy.
Hi. Just want to thank you, Alan, for doing this. You're
you're
year.
So welcome.
This is an unbelievable way to, convey the message and.
Yep, we lost. I
think
we can hear you
out across, the nation and for people that otherwise wouldn't be able to attend, can attend. So this is awesome. Thanks Liz and Jerry for this incredible journey from 2004. And Jerry's right. The first year we forgot to pay for the bowling shoes. So that was kind of a hiccup, but we got better every year. And also just thanks for everybody for being here, your donations, your sponsorships, the items that you have donated for us to be able to sell and make money for Autism is Awareness. So thanks, crew.
Well, great. Well, Jerry, Liz, and Michael, we'll see you in a little while.
Okay.
All right. Joining Wendy now is Little Bill Lewis himself, Bryan Buffington. Wendy Medor and Bryan are both raising young men on the autism spectrum, and they are here to tell us about their sons. Let's see, Bryan will. Hey, Bryan. There he is.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Good. Hello.
Thank you both for talking to us about this. How old were Bennett and Matthew, and what events led you and your spouses to have your boys diagnosed?
Well, for me, it was, my son is now 30. So this was about 25 years ago. There he is. And for me, it was, he could read at an incredible early age. And then he was able to memorize birthdays and he knew what day of the week they fell on. And we knew something special was going on. We just didn't know what it was. So by the time he hit kindergarten, he had every child's birthday memorized in class and their bus numbers, their pets' names. And then that is when they went ahead and did a full testing. And at the time, we didn't even know what autism was or what Asperger's was. So it was a rude awakening for parents that didn't have any, at the time, not a lot of advocacy out there or a lot of information because the internet wasn't really available at that time. We were just getting the internet. And so it was a tough road for us, but we got up to speed, got educated, made sure things were in place for our son. How about you, Bryan?
So Bennett was just over 2, and
oh my goodness,
I think it was mostly mother's
he's so
intuition.
Cute.
No, he's adorable.
I think my wife noticed something was off and she was a little concerned. I honestly didn't. And we were blessed because one of her best friends runs a behavioral consulting clinic in our area. So she came over and put us in touch with a child psychologist, and we got him evaluated. He was diagnosed, and we went right into kind of tackling it and getting him whatever tools and resources we could give him. So on that end, we feel very lucky to have gotten him started at such an early age, because I think early intervention is so important. And unfortunately, I've seen a lot of parents kind of put their head in the sand because they don't want to hear that word. And I think it's really, really important. So we're lucky to
Denial
have.
shouldn't be in someone's
Yeah,
vocabulary.
it's a weird thing. I think parents just sometimes just don't. They're so afraid of that word, and there's there's a lot of stigmas I think with it, and but we have so many more resources today, and thankfully we've been able to use a lot of them.
What do you think some of the autism misconceptions are?
I would say there's a lot, but the lack of empathy and compassion, which for me, it's almost the opposite. I mean, Bennett is just such a sensitive, sweet, caring, is just so concerned with how everybody is feeling. And I think sometimes people misinterpret the difficulty in communication as a sort of, oh, they don't really care, or they, and there's a lot of, I think, unfortunate connections between, all these sort of people who do bad things, and they mention that, oh, they were on the spectrum, and then people kind of correlate that, and it's a bunch of nonsense. I think that's a big misconception.
I agree. And one of them too is that they don't want friends. That's not true either. Of course they want friends. They just don't know how to express it, or they don't have the right verbal communication to be able to let you know, hey, I'd really love to be your friend. And that's too bad, because they do. And like Bryan said, these are some of the most wonderful individuals you'll ever, come in contact with. My son, I know, is that you didn't get a chance to meet him, Alan, but he's come to a couple of the events. He is social butterfly. I mean, he loves it.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And, I have two cousins, Kyle and Gavin, who are on the spectrum, and some are just more severe cases. People need to know that as well, that it does run the gamut within families, and it's tough. What challenges have you and your families experienced since the diagnosis?
Well, for me, again, this was in the 90s, and so we just didn't have the information. It wasn't there, but we got educated very quickly. We took advantage of the we'd have conferences. Tony Atwood, I don't know if Bryan, if you're familiar with him, Tony Atwood and Temple Grandin, they came to Bangor, Maine, so we were front and center, getting every piece of of information we could get. And we were at every IEP meeting, and if there was ever a situation at school, I didn't hesitate to pick up the phone or go see them. And you have to be your child's biggest advocate. You do, because
they actually have people professional advocates now who do just that.
It's awesome.
I'd say for us, when he reached the age where he was going to go to school, that was kind of a challenge, was finding the right place for him. And it took a while, because the first place wasn't so great. And once we found the right place, it was amazing. So, and I think there's no guidebook, at least there's nothing that just tells you everything you need to do. So a lot of it is just researching and doing your homework and just kind of staying on top of it. And, it's trial and error.
Before I let you go, we can continue on with the show. What's the best piece of advice you could offer to parents going through a similar thing?
I would say, I kind of touched on this earlier, just if there's just something that's not, you just feel like there's something a little bit off, like get the evaluation, find a child psychologist that's recommended, and get them evaluated, because the sooner you get them the tools and the help and assistance that they need, the better. And it's like, if you don't do that, just because you're afraid, you're sort of depriving them. And there's so many tools now, so use them.
And for me, as you're having experienced it, as your child, your elementary school goes through the schools and is in high school, start thinking about that transition, because that is the most crucial transition from childhood to adulthood, and the services. I mean, my son received services all through school, but once he crossed over out of school and into college, you lose that support. And so it's crucial to get them on a waiting list or whatever you need. And one more piece of advice, don't do it alone. Find a support group. See what other parents are going through, what those challenges are, and you can only gain from that. So
100%.
Well, thank you, Bryan. Thank you, Wendy, for sharing your sons with all of us today. Wendy, we'll see you later on in the show.
Okay.
And let's get Jerry verDorn back out here. Hello, Jerry. And Bryan's going to stay. Bryan's going to stay. And Jerry, take it away.
All right. Take it away to
our next two guests.
To our next two guests, who are rapscallions. And the rapscallions have been given names. And one of them is Frank Cooper, played by Frank Dicopoulos. The other one is Mr. A.C. Mallet. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Derwin.
Hello, gentlemen.
Wait a minute. You didn't tell me you were wearing a hat. I would have worn my hat and glasses. For God's sakes.
I'm wearing a hat. Well, I'm in freezing LA.
Hey, Jerry. Hey, Bryan. Hello, Alan.
What's up?
Can I just start by saying, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jerry verDorn.
Mr. Jerry verDorn.
Yeah, I've gotten several letters since we were last on together about where that started and why it started. Do you have any idea, or did you just do it?
No, I know where it started. It started because I'm madly in love with you and have such respect for you. When we go down to the rehearsal hall, I would run ahead of you to announce your arrival. And I would just run in and say, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jerry verDorn. I would do it on stage, on the set, wherever we were. And then Rick Hurst stole my bit. He started doing it with someone else. I remember that.
Really?
Yeah.
Rick's joining us later. If I remember, I'm going to ask him.
Yeah, he totally stole my bit. He's a vulture.
Jerry, it came from a place of love and respect, Jerry.
Okay.
Homage.
Do you remember what I used to call you? And I still do.
Uncle Ross, Uncle Jerry, Uncle Bear.
Uncle Jerry. That's right.
Yes.
That's right. That's exactly.
Bryan, what did you learn working
hey, Bryan,
with these
good to see
fine
you, buddy.
gentlemen?
What's up, dude?
What do you remember about these fine gentlemen during your
time?
Your mom probably used to say, "Close your ears."
I was exposed to a lot very early on. No, I feel like most of the guys on the show just treated me like a nephew or a little brother. And I don't think, other than maybe some of the females, like nobody sheltered me from a lot. They treated me like I could handle it. So that was nice. Made me feel like one of the guys.
When did you get all grown up and so serious? For God's sakes, this is not the little Bryan I knew.
You know what's funny, Frank? I just stumbled on a gold mine. My dad converted like all these old VHS tapes to DVDs, and he has a lot of the softball games on there. So I'm working on converting all that stuff, and I'll send it to Alan, and he can distribute it. It's amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
I just remember hitting a lot of home runs.
Mark, Frank,
I don't remember that.
What did you say, Mark?
I just remember hitting a lot of home runs. So I'm sure it's all it takes.
You were the MVP.
Yes.
Mark, Frank, and Jerry, you three during the early 90s, it was Blake Ross and Harley and Mallet, and Frank and Eleni and Alan Michael. All these, triangles. What do you remember about that time?
They were great. Probably some of my most favorite times, actually. It worked. All those triangles worked immensely, and I think the fans were really, really enjoying it. It was a good time for Guiding Light. Not every time's a great time for Guiding Light, but
but you're right. It was. We were high in the ratings. We were crushing it.
Yep. Yeah. What are you drinking there? Was that Irish coffee with a little Kahlua, or?
No, it's a little Irish coffee, a little whiskey, a little Bailey's, a little vodka, a little gin. It's just coffee. It's just coffee. I'm really high, if that makes a difference.
Oh, Mark Derwin. Mark and Jerry, I know there's fans here who watched you both on One Life to Live. Can you talk about the shared leading lady of Erica Slezak that you were both lucky to work with?
Well,
Yeah, I got to hand her off to
did
Jerry.
nice things to her, and no, ABC made us say a bunch of stuff, but emotionally, it was just like a shortcut for me. I mean, I knew her, of course, through certain events, but I had never worked with her. And after Mark got me the gig, we went over there, and it was really a shortcut. We didn't need much time at all to get to know each other acting wise. Matter of fact, I adored working with her from the time that the audition tape went down. So I'm to this day I'm still sending Mark checks for 10%. You know,
That's how I got this cool hat.
that's how we got that.
I love that.
But, you know, I mean, she's so Midwestern, and when we found out we had a previous life together. We did Desdemona, I did Iago. She did it in Milwaukee Rep. I did it in Minnesota, and it turns out we shared the same Othello. I kind of liked mine. She hated his, and I remember I was a graduate student. I saw her at Milwaukee Rep doing things, and so it was like, you know, that.
Wow.
And she's such a nice person, and she's got 37 Emmys. So what's not to like about her?
Well, between us, she has 37 Emmys.
Yes.
Well, you know, guys, this is a fundraiser for autism. So I thought I'd ask, you know, fundraising means having to ask for help and hope for generosity from others. Who has helped each of you along the way in whatever capacity?
Wow.
Sherry, you want to go first?
Wow.
Seniors.
Oh, seniors again. Yeah. Well, I had several people at college in Minnesota that helped me because I sort of went in disguise. My parents thought I was going to be an English teacher, and I did for a while have a double major of theater and English. And in those days in the Midwest, you simply didn't want to say, well, I'm going to be an actor. All those little tests that you take in high school, I was supposed to be a banker, which makes many people giggle because I can't.
Well, you know, you keep sending me those 10% checks, and so you're really good at that.
They keep coming, you'll keep complimenting, I know. But it was mostly professors that helped me along. And then when I got to New York, there was a couple of nice actors that showed me the ropes. And at Guiding Light, one of them was Mart Hulswit.
Oh, great. Well, Mart will be here shortly. What about you, Frank?
Wow. So many people. I mean, I don't even know where to start because it started way before Guiding Light, actually. I never knew I was going to be an actor. That was not in the radar at all. I was going to be an orthopedic surgeon specializing in sports medicine, so go figure. But I mean, if you want to, since we're talking about Guiding Light, I mean, I would say Betty Ray for sure. Joe Wilmore. Jill Farron Phelps, my God, all the head writers, everyone, Jill Laurie Hurst, Stephen Demers, Nancy Curley, Nancy Williams-Watt. I mean, they're just, it's endless. And my fellow actors, I have to tell you, we were really blessed at Guiding Light because it truly was a legitimate family. We really and truly loved and supported each other. We really did. And a lot of the other people, like extras or background, would come and work our show, and you go, you guys are really unique here. It's not like that everywhere else. And so the support that I got, I mean, I'm looking at Mark Doran. We laughed our asses off. I mean, we had a blast. And Jerry and I had so many wonderful talks. We would just sit down. I'd knock on his door. He always had an open door. And we'd just go in there and sit and have great conversations. And the young folk, you know, like Bryan and just all of them were just great. And so those are just a few. My family, you know, yeah, I mean, just truly.
Bryan? Sorry, Frank. I'm gonna before we.
Well,
yeah,
what Frank said, but just to give everybody kind of a little story. Rick and Morgan used to play guitar in their dressing room, and I just remember kind of being fascinated and wanting to learn. And one day Rick gave me one of his acoustic guitars, and that really sort of started a love affair with writing music and just playing guitar. And that was such a cool gesture that I never forgot. And I'll just I will never forget. It's awesome, and it, literally it's one of my favorite things to do. So,
and you, Marky?
Well, the guy who painted this picture behind me, I have a bunch of others. His name was Michael LaGuardia. He was an actor, and he did all soaps, daytime. He had a recurring role in All My Children. He was David. He worked with David Canary. He was like his bodyguard or something like that. But anyway, I had met him back in the mid '80s through another friend who I saw in a TV commercial. I didn't even know he was acting. I was swinging a hammer and north of Manhattan. I had no idea what I was doing in life, and so I met this guy Michael LaGuardia, and he was teaching out of his basement, and I joined his class, and I was awful and nervous and scared, but I kept going, and he was real supportive. And then a few years after that, I got sick of I had to do something, so I just got a one-way ticket and moved out to LA to try to do this, and then eventually he came out, but he died. He died in his 40s, sadly young, but he was a massive influence, not only a mentor, but a kindred spirit, really, in my life. So I would credit him with the majority of my success. As a matter of fact, the 1 year, I think it was my last year on Guiding Light, I got nominated, right? And it was all the big guys, it was Woods, it was Zaslow, it was Canary, and A. Martinez, probably Mr. verDorn. He should have been in there instead of me, but I didn't think I was going to win, but if I did, I had this whole thing to talk because he had just died. I had this whole thing to talk about Mike, but Canary won, which is bullshit anyway because he plays two roles. Excuse my language. Talk about an advantage. And then I got the greatest, and I still have it. I got the greatest little note from Mr. verDorn about me not winning. It was, I'm not going to say what it said, but it was incredibly
I never got
charming and funny. Yeah, right?
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Frankie, you stick around. Bryan and Mark, you both
Get the hell off.
Well. Yeah, sorry, pal.
Yeah, I got a busy day, so I got to go. I got things to do.
Hey, you're calling me. You're calling me on Monday. You're calling me on Monday, and we're going out.
Yeah, you guys are in LA.
All right,
Bryan,
Monday. Set up the
I'm
week.
calling you tomorrow.
Jerry, we'll see you in a couple minutes.
All right.
See you. Thanks, everyone.
All right. So,
Jerry, see you. Bye, Bryan.
I am going to bring out your mama, Ms. Jean Carroll, Nadine Cooper. Hey, Jean.
Hi, Mama.
Frank, Aubrey was supposed to join us. She's on the West Coast. I don't know if she got the time mixed. Aubrey was supposed to be here right in this segment, but Jean, okay. I'm glad you're early. Jean and Frank, you guys got to see each other in person. What was that like?
Jeannie, you answered. It was fantastic. It was like we didn't skip a beat, and it was wonderful. As a matter of fact, I put a photo of two pictures on Facebook, and everybody, if you read the comments, Jeannie, everybody thinks you look beautiful, you look terrific, you haven't aged a bit. Meanwhile, not one comment. Frank, you look old. What happened? No, it was wonderful.
I think we're having trouble. Jean, we're having trouble with your audio. I'm going to kick you off. If you could try signing in again. We're having trouble with your audio.
Actually, she's auditioning for Minnie Mouse.
That's what it sounded like. Frank, so what prompted the move to California?
Olivia, our daughter's out here.
That's what I figured.
Just wanted to show our son Jaden and Olivia here. Jaden's in New Jersey. Has a staff position at Rutgers doing environmental sciences, and Olivia is working for Love Productions, a big production company out here. She's doing really well, and my beautiful bride Taya, right there.
Well,
so we wanted to.
If I remember, Frank, I'm going to tell Beth that he's doing environmental work at Rutgers. She's going to be on later on in the show.
She's going to tell you a
your
great
sister.
story, and I'll let her tell you that story.
No, we did that already.
Oh,
But
okay.
yes, of them bumping
Okay.
into each other, which is great.
That was fantastic.
How
it really
is
was.
California treating you?
Love it. Absolutely love it. Miss our friends and family on the East Coast, but I have not looked back. It's been absolutely terrific. I can't wait to be auditioning again and going after some things. I have a couple things in the wings right now. I'm actually doing a show called Forever in a Day, a podcast that I'm very proud of. And, you know, I love it. The weather's fantastic. I got to see my mama. Now she's got...
Is that working now? Is that audio?
It is. Yeah, there you are.
I don't know.
Electronics. It's electronics. What were you saying about seeing your son in person?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, you know, we tried to get together right before the pandemic hit. It was like that week when he came out to visit his daughter, his beautiful daughter. Oh my God. Have you seen his daughter? She's absolutely stunning. Anyway, and then all of a sudden the pandemic happened and everything got shut down, and that was it. We didn't get to meet up. So last Saturday was the first time we got to see each other in so long. It was so fun. I keep telling him, I see them every year. I have a little Christmas tree ornament with their picture when we all went out to a comedy club decades ago. But he's on my tree every year with his
I love that.
Yeah. So it was when we got there, they greeted us, Jerry and I, with champagne. It was fantastic.
Of course. What other way you greet people? That's all we know.
Of course, with strawberries too.
Yes.
So sweet. We got to catch up, and he gave me a tour. I thought he was a realtor the way he was showing off his new plays. You could go into realty, you know, if you decide not to act anymore. But I
Gene, I'm going to bring out Frank's on-screen daughter, Aubrey Dollar, to join you guys. She's in the car. Let's see if it works.
Ooh, fingers crossed.
Hey, Aubrey.
Hi.
Hi.
You guys,
Aubrey.
we're driving to a pumpkin patch. I'm so sorry.
I love it.
That is adorable. This is your on-screen grandmother who you've never met, Jean Carroll, who played Frank's mom, Nadine.
Oh,
wow. Hi. I've heard nice to meet you.
Granddaughter.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
No, my character had issues, you know, taking care of her kids and drinking. You know, she was always off doing her own thing. So, you know, she kind of forgot about you. But she was dead by then, I think.
And she was dead by then. She was killed with a candlestick.
I know.
You're taking your son to a pumpkin patch?
Yes, we are. We're going to a pumpkin patch like an hour away from LA, and then we're having dinner in a pioneer town in the desert. It's probably ambitious to do with a 4-year-old, but we're doing it.
Your papa here just moved to LA.
You did? I would love to see you, Frank.
We're here. We are here. Tay and I are here, and that would be awesome.
That would be great. We should do it.
I'll send him your info.
Yeah.
You should definitely do that.
That would be wonderful. I would love it. You can. I
want to meet my granddaughter.
There.
Where's your? Oh, he's adorable.
Hey, Arlo. Hey,
Say hi, Arlo.
Oh, he's adorable.
Oh, that's so great.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, you enjoy the pumpkin patch, Aubrey. Thank you for stopping by. Really
oh my gosh,
appreciate it.
Aubrey, I want to see you in person.
I know. I would love that. We should all get together, do a little reunion. It'd be fun.
A Cooper family reunion in California.
That would
Great.
be awesome. That would be awesome. Oh, this is
All
the
right.
best.
Stay
Great seeing
well,
your
Aubrey.
faces. Thank you. Hit me up, Frank.
Okay.
Okay, bye, you guys.
Bye.
That's nice. That's special. Thank you for that.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. It's crazy seeing all these kids from Guiding Light, Bryan with his, kids, and Aubrey, it's just, and so many of our cast. Maeve's about to come out, who's a grandmother, and Kim and Robert, and, it's so, warms the heart for everybody. And,
Hey, Alan, you asked a question. Well, actually, we were talking something previously. I have one of my best friends, actually, who's still in New Jersey, has a son who is severely autistic. Oh, big time. And he could not be a better dad. When I see him with his son, and his son's basically an adult now, it's incredible. It's actually the energy, the love. and it's a full-time job. I mean, it's amazing, and I have nothing but the utmost respect for anyone who whose child has autism, and what they do. It's just it's beyond commendable, and it's a beautiful thing, and it's not an easy job. And then my son Jaden has one of his best friends' family has also another autistic child, and my God, they couldn't be they're the best parents, and you could just see the outpouring of love, but also the amount of energy and time that is spent. So
yeah, well, that's why it's so important to donate to this charity. So many families are affected. Frankie, thank you so much for stopping by. We love you.
Love you
Gene,
too,
stick
man.
around. We're going to bring out Miss Maeve Kinkead, and Maeve played Vanessa Chamberlin Reardon. Maeve, hello.
Hi, Alan. Hi, Jeannie.
Hi, Maeve. How
Wow.
are you?
What did you say?
I said, how are you?
I have no idea. I don't do a lot of technological stuff. So my husband set this up for me. Alan knows I'm a real doofus on this. So it's miraculous to see you. I feel like I'm having an out-of-body experience.
It's a flashback, huh?
Yeah. Hi, Jeannie.
Hi, honey. How are you? I love you so much. I've missed you.
Well, it's been, I think everybody's sense of time is a little kerflooey because of the pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
It really, really is.
Yeah.
One of our fans just wrote, I loved, in capital letters, the fights between Vanessa and Nadine.
They were really good. Our characters, I always felt our characters were so well written that all we had to do was come into the room and the room would go.
Well, you were always so wonderful to work with. You're such a giving actor, and you and the whole cast, actually, but I loved our scenes together too. I really did. It was so fun.
Yeah, it really, really was. It was a prototypical dark-haired person, blonde-haired person. It was great. And I loved working with you. And
well, you had a great story with Melissa Hayden, Bridget, and she's going to be out later. What do you remember of, the three of you in that story?
Oh, wow. Playing that character who's going after a young girl to take her baby away. On the outset, it seems so horrible, but I totally understood Nadine's point of view. I mean, you have to assume the point of view of your character and kind of get into that and say, why are they doing it? And she was so insecure and so needed to keep Billy, and she would do anything to keep Billy. And she put herself in the position that Bridget's character was in, having a child when she was that young. So I kind of got into it, but looking at it on the outside, it was horrible what she did.
But what a talent, Melissa.
Oh yeah, definitely.
She kept up with you too.
Oh, she's wonderful. Really wonderful.
And the other person in between you two was Billy Lewis, Mr. Jordan Clark.
Oh, Jordan, where is he?
I know. I would love fans continue to ask for him all the time.
I'll tell you a story about Jordan that I tell to a lot of people. He seemed to have a photographic memory. He would come in the makeup room in the morning when we had, a shoot in the morning session. He would pick up the script maybe for the first time. He'd look through it once or twice. And he had it in his brain. It was amazing. And I'd be struggling the night before. I wouldn't go to sleep until I knew all my lines. But I was going, oh, I'm so jealous that you can do that. But he was great.
Jordan was, I remember the first time when he came in to audition for the role of Billy Lewis. And it was on 26th Street. And I looked at him, I thought, this man is trouble. This man is the kind of trouble that our show needs. And I don't know, there's nobody that I've ever met that's like Jordan. He's so talented, so smart, so funny, so terrible. But I remember one of the things he was good at bridge. Do you remember this, Jeannie? And when there'd be a big, to do, and there was lots of time, Jordan would be playing bridge and wiping everybody out.
Of course,
he could also be
brilliant mind.
What?
He had a brilliant mind.
Yes. Well, this was a little piece of. It was an outside thing. I forget where we were, but we were outside. And he said to me, I think that grass over there is Timothy, he said. And he said, the thing about Timothy is that the roots can go down and they're so strong that they can break a rock apart. And I thought, could this possibly be true? But yes, it is. It is true. So that's,
wow.
There's no one like Jordan.
Yeah.
No one likes
so physically imposing, but underneath, I think, a real teddy bear.
Teddy bear. Yep. That's what everybody says. Jean, thank you so much for joining us today. So good to see your face. So good.
Yeah.
Jean, thank you so much, Ellen. I've got to put in a plug for Misguided real quick.
Yes, please.
It's a little, web series that we have, and we're getting it together for another season. And it's
that's so great.
Fun.
Congrats, Paul. That's great.
Yay.
Check it out. It's on YouTube. I loved it.
Yes, thank you. And Paul works so hard. Oh my gosh, he's a director, a writer, a producer, and he just does a great job. And he's such a sweetheart too. I love him. I love everybody in the cast. Maeve, I love seeing you, honey. I think of you so much.
So nice to see you, Jeannie. Best of luck in everything.
Oh, you too. Stay healthy, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye, Jeannie. I'm gonna bring out another one of your lovely co-stars, Mr. Jerry verDorn.
Oh gosh. Hi, Jerry.
Hi, baby. I'm a fellow doofus when it comes to technology. So we're completely in Alan's hands.
Oh, that's good. So if we blow up at any time, they'll blame him, not us.
So if things go all fatutzt and smoke comes out of your computer, it's not our fault.
Yeah.
You don't sound like you.
I don't?
No.
Oh.
Maybe it's my ears. It could be my ears,
Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask you both because we lost Michael Tylo last week. Maeve, he played your brother. What stands out in your mind about Michael?
Do you want to go first, Jerry?
Yes, I'll go first. In that Michael and I had a relationship that started when we both came to town because the same height, we were white, we had high cheekbones. So I would see him at every commercial audition that I ever went to. And as Maeve knows, the Manhattan show business is centered around 8 or 10 buildings, and he went to the same buildings week after week for auditions. And I would invariably see Mr. Tylo there. And I do believe that Michael auditioned for Ross. And
oh gosh.
And Betty Ray had this whole system. She had like a family book that she had Polaroids in. And if you weren't right or you didn't make it for one character, she always kept you in mind for another character down the line if that happens to come up in the writer's mind. And it came up with Quint, and she knew immediately who to go to. And I don't think they had anybody audition for Quint. She just brought Michael in, and he did it. And so, and then we did a play together with Colleen Zink and
oh wow,
Neil Simon's Star Spangled Girl. We did it out in New Jersey, and Michael had a tendency to, let's say, ad lib, and I delivered one night a line that was similar to a line deep in Act 2, but unfortunately we were at the top of Act 1, and he gave me the line in return from deep in Act 2, which would have made the shortest Star Spangled Girl production in history. We would have gone from Act 1 to curtain call, and we would have eliminated Colleen Zink altogether. But eventually he got the right line, and we went back to Act 1. But he was a great guy on the set of Guiding Light too.
Fans loved Quinta Nola, boy.
Yeah.
And they loved Nola and Vanessa.
Yeah. Those were wonderfully drawn characters, and I think my most vivid memory of Michael is was one of the Christmas shows, and his character was always, it had a certain kind of dignity to it. And he came out of his dressing room, and I just remember the expression on his face, which was absolute disgust. And I said, Michael, what is it? He said, look at my feet. And they had made for this show Michael to be an elf, and he was wearing the curved. Do you remember this, Jerry? The curved.
Yes, I do.
The curved green shoes with the bells on top.
Yeah.
And he said, I just want to take these shoes off. If I can just take these shoes off, I can get through this show. We said, no, Michael, you have to keep those on. They're very, very wonderful elf shoes. So I don't know. His scenes with Lisa were just so wonderful, and his scenes with Bill were absolutely wonderful.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing those memories. I'm going to bring Liz Keifer out to make our next introduction.
Oh.
Hi.
Go right ahead, Liz.
Oh, yes. Okay. Well, hello, Maeve there. Yes.
And this is a surprise for everyone because they did not know. For the fans, for sure.
Okay. Well, I would like to introduce my favorite evil stepmother and stepdaughter all at the same time. Miss Wendy Moniz.
Hey, Wendy.
Wendy. Oh my God. Look at you all. Look at your beautiful selves. Thank you for inviting me, Alan.
You're so welcome. And thank you for being here. Really.
My pleasure. I'm so glad it worked out.
Me too. Jerry and Maeve were talking about how they are computer illiterate. I think Wendy feels the same way.
Say it's a miracle that that this happened, not because of schedule, but just because that I was able to turn this on and do this. So I'm grateful. I'm the worst.
Wendy, what stands out in your mind from working with these three?
I mean, honestly, I can close my eyes and it's like yesterday that I think it was my first scene or one of my first big group scenes where the three of them were there. And Jerry walks in and I have to run into his arms and like, Daddy, because I hadn't seen him. And that stands out. I remember what I was wearing. I had like a black beret on and a black knit. They always had great clothes for me then. And that stands out. And then, saying goodbye to Maeve at the end when I was going off to the nunnery. I mean, just crying. That was my last day of work for real. And it was so meaningful. There was such
the nunnery, that alone.
Yeah, I know. And I had the burn on my face. It was, there were things about it that could have been comical, but it was, I took it very seriously, the job, but also it so happened that was my last day of work, and to be really saying goodbye to Maeve in that way. I think we were both so teary. That sticks out for sure. And Liz, you and I had so much fun hating on each other.
Yeah, I do recall a lovely scene in the hospital with food poisoning, or both of us being roommates together in the hospital. And when I think Nola poisoned a wedding, and we had food poisoning, and we were crawling on our hands and knees just to get at each other.
Yes,
I recall this.
Yes,
going right into it with you too. It was fun.
Yeah. And then there was, the red dress. I had the red dress and I was confronting Jerry and Maeve and crying about how I was abandoned at the carnival, and just so many tears. There was so many heavy drama, but the humor combined. And I was 25 years old, I think, when I came on that show. It was my first big job. And my memories are of Maeve and Jerry really taking me under their wing and truly in a parent kind of a way. And I'll never forget it.
And Jerry and Maeve, for you, what sticks out in your mind?
She had one of the great lines that just broke my heart. We had some scene where Ross had enough of of all the antics going on with Dinah, and he was reading her the riot act from the A to Z, and I did it and just leveled her. And she had the last line of, "Please, Daddy, don't hate me."
Oh,
Broke my heart. But I had to. I had strong. Had to be tough.
Yeah, I didn't hear the last part, Jerry.
I had to be strong and tough love with the little girl, and she was
Yes, you did.
so heartbreaking.
If I recall correctly, Jerry, I think that's one of your scenes that won you an Emmy. I think.
Oh, it was.
wow.
Well, you picked it out. You should know. Yeah, I believe it was. Yeah, I told her enough is enough and all that stuff. And yeah.
Remember that. I do. I remember that. God, I remember so much really vividly.
And it was amazing how, we did all that those were the days when we just started not having a dress rehearsal. And the old thing from the booth was, oh, let's put it on tape. Maybe we'll get something, but what they were actually doing was just totally eliminating a dress rehearsal and notes.
Right.
Which led us to, well, you went from the makeup chair to blocking to show the camera people, and then you taped it.
Right.
And Maeve, for you?
Well, I actually, sort of in response to what you just said, Jerry, I remember some people would even ask to tape the dress because they felt as though they understood, whatever was going on in the scene enough, and maybe the first take would really do it. Do you remember that as well?
Yeah, I remember that, and I remember some advice given to me by one of them was Mart Hulswit early on, is when you got close to lunchtime and you were doing a scene and it was live on tape and you had the feeling they were going to buy it, but it wasn't so good.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of pretend you go up on the lines.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, maybe we can pick it up after lunch and do that. But that was a while. Zaslow did that quite often. Because in his brain, he was saying, they're going to buy this.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't want to.
He didn't want that, yeah.
Well, I have all of you together. I'm going to ask you to smile, and I'm going to take a picture of all of us together.
Okay.
It's so nice to see you, Wendy. And I want to ask one last question.
Sure.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Wendy, what do you think you learned from your experience at Guiding Light that's, helped you for the rest?
I mean, I learned so much there. I mean, it really was like a training ground in a way. I mean, I learned how to, they were all such wonderful actors that I was working with that I learned to be better and to take it really seriously. And I just carried that with me always, like just to be really professional and, just go for it.
Well, thank you, Maeve. Thank you, Wendy, so much for being here. It's so good just seeing you all together. I know for the fans, I'm seeing the comments, it's warming their hearts. Really appreciate you both stopping by today.
A pleasure.
Thank you.
It was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful working with you from the beginning to the end. And I didn't have a chance to say that, so I wanted to.
Oh, Maeve, I feel the same. I'm in New York right now working, and I have this, it just feels like such this full circle thing. All these memories are coming back to me, and I just treasured the time that I spent working with you and with Jerry and with Liz. It meant the world to me. It's always with me here. It was one of the best jobs I've ever had in my life, changed my life.
Love you, Maeve. Love you, Wendy.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Jerry and Liz, I'll see you in a little while.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Great. Joining us now is the man who played Alfred and Nate, or whatever we called him at the time, and who is now knocking us all out of the park on The Walking Dead playing Pope. Please welcome Mr. Richie Coster. And his wife was supposed to join us. Hey, Richie.
Hello, Alan. Hello,
How
mate.
are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm just getting text messages from my Jan.
Yeah, your wife, Jan Conklin, our producer from Guiding Light, who's having technical difficulties at the moment.
She's having technical difficulties. Her computer's not working. She doesn't know if it's Chrome or Safari.
She's watching because she just wrote she can't get in.
Yeah. The last one was a long word beginning with F. And finally finishing with a K. And then I don't understand. So I'm just going to.
There's been a lot of actors stopping by today who are having that sort of technical difficulty. Tell me what the experience of The Walking Dead has been like for you.
It's honestly, Alan, one of the best jobs I've ever had. It was just joy. I mean, it was a lovely set to go to, and the whole cast and crew are like deeply committed to it, and also very warm and welcoming. And I had a lot of fun with the role. And it ends today. My last episode is airing tonight.
Okay. Well, everybody tune in tonight, and you're going to be on Talking Dead tonight.
Yeah, I'm in LA at the moment because I'm doing the episode of The Talking Dead after the show. So, shall I say this? Yeah, I shall. This is a 4 seasons hotel room. I'm sitting in.
Very nice.
It's lovely, but a bit frustrating because it costs $50 to get a cup of coffee here.
That's funny. That's funny.
That's a happy man, Alan. You really do.
I love it. I love watching you. You scare the CRAP out of me watching you on The Walking Dead. I think you scared people, playing Alfred and Nate on Guiding Light.
Yeah. God, that was a joy. And someday, maybe I'll play a romantic hero or something.
Someday, but you play the scary so good that it's hard to do that. I'm going to bring out Jill Laurie Hurst and Maria Messina right now to say hello to you.
Guys.
Hi, Richie.
You absolutely should play a romantic hero.
No.
Oh.
And I was going to say, he does play the romantic hero in real life.
Yes,
that he does.
You are.
No.
Romantic hero. Jan is fantastic. They're lucky to have each other.
It's true.
Yeah, but not the romantic hero. I have killed romance. Romance is dead.
Oh.
I'll talk to Jan about that.
Are you okay, guys? You look great.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You all look great. Everybody looks great.
I don't know which. No,
Jan is screaming Jill and Maria. She can't get in. I don't know what her technical problems are.
That's supposed to be me playing that role, not Jan.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Jill and Maria, thank you. You're both producers on Guiding Light. We've, with Guiding Light, we did so much, giving back. What stands out in your mind from some of the things that Guiding Light was able to do over the years?
Go first.
Oh, that's not fair. That's not fair. Of course, so many things, but Find Your Light, we'd be remiss not to say that. I mean, that was a tremendous undertaking. I thank Ellen Wheeler for, coming up with something so crazy, not only coming up with it, but announcing it and, just putting all of us cast and crew. I mean, we went down and helped 3 families rebuild their homes after Hurricane Katrina. And, I don't know many shows who could say, I mean, we really went, I remember going down a week or 2 ahead and ordering food for every day and, organizing everything. It was tremendous. But what was most tremendous is being with, you hear this over and over again, we were family, we really loved each other. And, it sounds so ridiculous. And I know people go, yeah, I'm sure they really were. We were, for me, I grew up there at Guiding Light, and I spent most of my time there more than with my own family. And that was my family. So then to be able to go and give ourselves of service like that, it was really, it changed me. It helped me grow. I mean, I think I hope I'm a better person because of it. So yeah, that was a wonderful memory, really.
Well, and Richie, I know for Jan, you know, that was a big deal. And Jan is now doing this as her day-to-day work, working with New York City Relief.
Yeah, I truly think that that period sparked something in her. And thereafter, she took a circuitous route to get to where she is now. But I think there was a little flame burning in her heart. And I think deep down she knew where she needed to be and what she needed to be doing. Having said all that, can I just show you this?
I love it. That's fantastic.
So I'm just going to hold this here, and we're going to pretend that Jan is with me. Okay?
Well,
Okay.
Richie, I will say I completely agree with you. I mean, I watched that spark as you did. I know, you know, like when she was Biloxi and just being part of that. The hands-on was the group, right? Jill, correct me if I say anything wrong. I'm terrible remembering names of specific things, but yeah, it definitely sparked something for Jan. And I've been blessed enough to, I mean, I should do it more, and forgive me for not, but I have joined Jan and Richie, you know, on the relief bus, New York Relief, and it's, you know,
that's awesome.
The joy,
That's awesome.
the joy. I mean, what Jan does, and Richie as well, you know, again, you know, what they bring to it, and really what you get from doing it is, you know, you can't explain it. It really is an amazing thing.
I've just been thinking back to it because I went down there once or twice to visit Jan while she was down there. And, you know, of course it was a place of great misfortune and tragedy. But I just remember being there and the bright, bright sunshine, and everyone, all the people I knew, everyone was so warm and like energetic and like at their very best. It was an incredibly touching little time there.
It totally was. It was moving for everybody involved, for sure. Truly. Jilly,
Yeah.
I'm going to come back to you on that question later on the show. Richie, best of luck with Talking Dead tonight.
Thank you.
Continued success. Maria, love you. Sorry we didn't have more time. Trying to keep this on schedule.
This is a great thing you're doing, and thank you to everyone who's donating. Thank you so much.
Indeed, thank you, and congratulations, Alan, and well done.
Yes.
Thank you, my friend. Jan, sorry we missed you, Jan. Bye, Maria. Now,
I'm back.
Joining us now, our mother and daughter duo of Stephanie Gachet and Nicole Forrester. But Nicole might be having technical difficulties at the moment. Hi, Steph.
Hi, Alan. This is so fun. Nice to see you too. It's nice to see everyone's faces.
Well, I think we can hear Nicole. Nicole?
Can you hear me?
We can.
Hi.
Down below, do you see camera and mic? Are you able to turn it on underneath
I do, and there's also a button that says Start Cam that's pink, and I keep.
Yeah. Who knows?
Anyway, this is the day and age we're in.
I mean, it's so funny. Everybody has technical difficulties. You look great. How is motherhood treating you?
Motherhood's great. I have a very feisty 6-year-old daughter, Bella. Six. Yeah, time flies, like they say it does. And she told me last week she wants to be in movies. So, yeah, it's like those dreaded words every actor gets from their kid at some point.
Trouble.
Yeah.
Nicole is definitely having trouble. I don't know what's happening. What do you remember about your working with Nicole and your other mama, Laura?
Oh, well, I just feel so lucky to have worked with both of them and everyone at Guiding Light. I want to echo what we've heard already today, which was that we truly were a family, and it's so precious. And to this day, it's been years since I've seen most of these people, but I think there's just this lifelong sense of we are family. And both Nicole and Laura were amazing actresses to learn from and people to work with and be surrounded by every day going to work.
100%, 100%. Who, I was asking, we're doing something today to raise money for autism. And, it's about giving and who along the way has helped you and, opened doors or just been a ray of light for you.
I mean, so many people. I feel like life is filled with, like, that's
there
what
she is.
Nicole.
Hi. Sorry, I missed that. I heard that you have a beautiful 6-year-old daughter, and then I lost you while I signed off. Hi. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So good to see you.
Good to see
I
you.
was asking who has helped her along the way. Today we're giving back for autism, and thank you for making a donation, Nicole. And who's helped you along the way? Did you finish your answer, Steph?
Oh, I just think, I think it's amazing to look back at life. And I even think about those guiding light days when I contemplate this in my own life. It's like, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I'm in a very different place today. Like, now I'm a nutritionist and a mom. I'm not an actor anymore. But if it hadn't been for Rob DeCina, the guiding light casting director, believing in me and casting me, and then having that experience in my life to take me to the next experience, and people believing in me and mentoring me along the way, like, we never end up where we are. And so I'm grateful for everyone who have played, like, little and big roles in that journey.
Nicole, for you?
Gosh, I mean, from the beginning, I've just been very lucky to have super supportive parents. And I had a wonderful drama teacher in high school whose name was Gail Susan Mack, who was hugely pivotal in me deciding to become an actress professionally for the rest of my life instead of just for fun in high school. So, I've been lucky and had a lot of support over the years, and certainly was very welcomed into the Guiding Light family by you, Stephanie, and Robert and Kim. And I mean, I was
times.
They were great times. And I remember Ellen Wheeler, our executive producer at the time, calling me and saying, do you have time for a few minutes? I just want to give you a little background on this character of Kassie, because she's kind of been through a few things and you might want to have some context. So she really welcomed me in and gave me a huge hand. And I couldn't have done it without, I think it would have been really painful to join the family after Laura's departure if everybody on Guiding Light hadn't been as welcoming and helpful as you all were, Stephanie, I remember when I met you, I think if I'm remembering correctly, we did the math and I was like, wow, I think I'm 11 years older than you. Is anyone going to buy me
sisters, right?
Yeah, that doesn't always work that well. That really doesn't always work that well.
Right.
That's a soap opera for you.
That's right. There's some forgiveness and details like that.
It really, really is. How are your two kids, Nicole?
They're doing great. Right now, my son is playing flag football and my husband is coaching his team on that. My daughter had a soccer game this morning, and this afternoon we go to a baseball game. So I do what I can to keep up with them. Only 2 kids, but they do about 6 different sports. So
different than when we were little. I mean, the activities, I couldn't keep up if I was.
So true. So true.
I have one, and the activities are like.
Yeah, exactly. And when it comes to team sports, I've got no wisdom to share. I got a whole lot of nothing to offer them.
No one's in the drama club yet.
No one's in the drama club yet. Exactly. But I think I just heard you say your 6-year-old says she wants to be an actress or performer.
She told me she wants to be in the movies, but I kind of ignored it. I'm trying to casually ignore that.
It just passes. It was just a passing thought. Yes. Mm-hmm. I don't blame you.
Well, thank you both for stopping by. I just noticed that a fan, Wendy, just donated. Thank you, Wendy. Dinah, a fan, Dinah says, great seeing you back on Chicago Fire, Nicole. I love you both so much. Thank you so much for stopping by today.
Thank you, Ellen.
So so welcome. Now I'm going to bring out Jerry verDorn. Jerry verDorn, my friend, Mr. Mart Hulswit, Dr. Ed Bauer.
Wow.
Hello, Jerry.
How are you?
I'm fine. I don't know why. I'm 81, so I'm still fine.
Well, that's great. I want to show you something that
Sure.
you saw every working day of your life. It's not embarrassing.
Oh, good.
But I stole it from 26th Street, and High Brown did not like me because when I pulled it off the wall, part of the wall came out, and we would never have gotten to our
Oh,
There
wow.
you go. Yep, that looks familiar.
And it says on the back, I stole this from CBS Studios on West 26th Street. It's about 200 yards from my apartment. I saw this sign along with everybody else every working day on my way to acting. And we always tapped it for good luck. It apparently worked. So it now hangs proudly in my garage.
Okay. Yeah.
How are you, Mart? Mart, tell us. I know, when I asked you to stop by today for this event, you mentioned that you have a great nephew named Kenneth who is autistic.
Yes, my great nephew, Kenny, he is autistic, and he was diagnosed as such when he was quite young. However, he has turned out to be a spectacular person. He got his GED, which is not easy for anybody, that is under any circumstances. But in addition to that, I first noticed that he had a genius in him when we were eating crabs on the eastern shore of Maryland. And all of us were cracking these crab shells. And he picked up a complete top of a crab shell, which is a complicated thing because it has little spines on it and it has legs that come out. And he reached into his bag and got out a piece of plastic, I guess, what you mold with, And he made he closed his eyes after he had touched the shell and made a perfect replica on it with his hands and with his eyes closed. And I said, "How did you do that?" He shrugged. In any case, he has come around. His mom is taking good care of him. He's now in his early 30s, and he has done a lot to raise money also for the autism spectrum people. Jerry, to change the subject for a moment.
Yeah,
you remember that we had a group called Happy, HAPPI, which stood for Help Autistic People Please, Inc.
Yes.
And you and I played some softball games out in Long Island to raise money for that.
Yes. I remember back when I could run, we played some benefit softball games, and Happy was one of them. And I remember Locke Wallace was our pitcher, and we had some beautiful red and white uniforms. And we were all young and healthy, and we passed the hat throughout the game. And we actually made quite a bit of money.
We did. And it was, and also we went in that same softball team, we played the show business league against some Broadway shows, and we went way in over our heads, I think.
That's right.
Well, Mark, Dr. Ed Bauer, I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Rick Bauer, played by Michael O'Leary, who you never met, but he is your...
Hey, Mark.
It's good to meet you finally.
Nice to meet you. I started in May of 1983. When did you depart the show?
I departed in June of 1981.
Okay.
In 83, I was standing by for George C. Scott on Broadway.
Wow. For what play was that?
It's Designed for Living, he directed later.
Yeah.
But this was Present Laughter.
Yeah.
And it was a great cast. And Nathan Lane made his Broadway debut in that. And I got to work with him because George, his dog died, and he stayed out of the studio out of the theater for about 10 days. And I got to go on with 2 hours notice. And it went quite well. And it got better as that week went by. Wow. But that was one of the highlights of my career. I'm very proud of that. Yeah. By the way, Michael, did you know you were conceived on the kitchen stove?
It doesn't. Yeah, baby.
Oh
I love that.
That explains a lot of things, Mark.
It doesn't surprise me, and it wouldn't surprise me if I fell on my head from the kitchen stove.
Well, Mark, I just realized I'll introduce you. She came along much later, but this is your daughter, Michelle Bauer.
Hi.
But she was conceived because you had an affair.
I thought it was my brother.
No, not you, but the other actor who played had an affair with another doctor, Dr. Claire Ramsey.
Well, you look a bit like your mother, actually, Leslie. Yes.
You know, Alan,
Yeah.
Mart Hulswit had one of the great bits that ever I was a witness to, in that this was 1979, must have been September or October, and he was doing a scene where he had to talk doctor along with Stefan Schnabel, and we were doing dress rehearsal. I had just I only had one line in the scene, then I left. And so I did my one line, and then I left, and Mart had told me before we did the dress rehearsal, I'm going to mess with the people in the control room, and so just keep your eye on what we're doing. And so I did my line, and I walked out, and then I stood by a council to watch the rest of the scene with Stefan and Mart, and all of a sudden, in the middle of the scene, they went into German, or maybe it was Dutch. I forget what it was, but they did the rest of the scene in a Germanic language.
That's right.
And when he came off the set, he said, I'm anxious to see what notes we get from this.
Well, I remember one of the lines that always happened. There was a phone call at the 4th floor nurses station. Do you remember that?
Yes.
The 4th floor nurses station was like our central place on the hospital. And we always got phone calls out of nowhere, then long scene on the phone, which was nice for people who didn't like to learn the lines because the prompter was right there. But Stefan and I did the scene in German, and we had not improvised anything. He says, where are you? Wo bist du? And I said, ich bin auf dem 4. Teil Schwesterstation. That's the 4th floor nursing station. And that cracked up most of the crew. Yeah, a sense of humor is what kept me there for 12 years. It really was helpful.
So you guys were lucky enough to have a teleprompter?
However, we were also lucky enough to go from 15-minute live.
Wow.
To half-hour live. And then tape came around, and luckily we were able to do tape, which was easier because you could stop and not have to, you could not go up.
Well,
when we were live, it was like doing theater.
I have to ask you, because by the time I was on the show, Nancy and I were working together, I can't conceive of what we did going live and not having really bad mistakes happen. Can you share one? Did anything ever happen as you went live that you could share with us?
Yes, the set in the set next to our set, the whole panel fell down in the middle of the scene, and both of us looked in that direction. I think it was with Don Stewart, and he said, "What was that?" I said, "I don't know. It's a busy place." And we went on, So it was improv time. But,
wow.
Jerry, I remember one thing fondly about you. Don Stewart had a beautiful home up in the mountains in New Jersey, and he had an open house thing for the cast. And we rented a minivan. A bunch of us went up together, and as we approached the house, this quarter's view of the distance, and then the swimming pool next to it. And you said, "I think I'm going to stay on the show for a while if this is what you get."
Yeah, I remember being impressed. Yes. And shortly after that, Don took me on a plane ride where we actually got very, very close to the Statue of Liberty, something you couldn't possibly do today. But he was a high muckety muck in the Air Force, so he got to have special clearance, and my wife and I got a bird's eye view of Manhattan there.
Yeah, that he flew up to New Hampshire to see my place up there and brought some guests in high heels and coat and jackets and ties and stuff. And it took a 1/4-mile hike into the woods to get to my cottage that we built. But we saw him off on his plane from near Dartmouth College up in northern New Hampshire. And as he took off, we waved to him, and then he buzzed the airport. And I think he set fire to the to the people in the tower there because he scared the hell out of them. But yeah, Don, there's so many of our friends that were with us are gone now. And Stefan was one of my best friends ever. And Stefan I spoke to for a few minutes. He called me for my birthday and he called me about a week before he died because he knew he was not well. And he said, I have wonderful news. I said, what? I said, my son David and his wife Wendy cannot have children, but they went to China and they adopted a Chinese daughter. And he said, do you know what this means? I said, what do you mean? He says, the latest schnabel in the world is Chinese. Isn't that wonderful?
Mart, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt to try and keep everybody on time. Thank you so much for being here today. It is so good to see you. The fans are loving it. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Good to see you all. You're very welcome. It's a privilege.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you,
Mark.
Dad.
Jerry, we'll see you in a little while. All right, Jerry, we'll see you soon. Michael, see you in a little while.
Okay.
Hi, Nance.
Nancy.
Hi. Hi, Michael.
So good to see you. Joining Nancy St. Alban right now is Jordi Vilasuso, who played Tony Santos. Hey,
look at you.
Hi, I want to hug you.
I know. God, it's been. I was actually spying on you before because I was like, oh my God, I'm going to see Nancy. I haven't seen her in years, so I got on the Insta and I was looking at your family and your beautiful girls.
Oh, I didn't realize.
And in the yoga studio. Hey now.
Yeah, how's the yoga studio going, Nance?
It's so much work, but it's great. It's going really, really well. We opened into an actual space in August.
It's called Yoga Love New York.
Yeah, and it's growing, and it's just a lot of work. I'm exhausted. I'm in my yoga gear right now. I got to go over there after this. So
I actually got certified through Core Power Yoga between gigs.
That's awesome. That's
and I attribute that to George Alvarez. He's the guy who got me into the.
Okay, so guess what? So I tried to get George to surprise you guys today. I was going to give him the link so he could join because George comes to my yoga class. He comes to my studio every single week. And George was the very first person that I ever did yoga with, just like
there
you
it is.
In the green room. Remember?
Yes.
And I think we also
he turned you on to it.
Yes, he took. I think Jordi, weren't you with us? We went to that
on the roof.
We did also like this yoga studio down the street. It was like Jiva.
Yes, I do. I remember. It was a funky hippie little studio.
Exactly.
Totally. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Which Core Power is not. It's a little different. But mine is sort of like in between the two. What we do is similar to Core Power in the sense that it's heated. We have a heated room.
Heated.
It's very power invigorated, yoga.
Yeah.
But it also has a bit of a philosophy and stuff. So that's good.
Jordi, I want you to mention your wife's charity, Code Red. Please tell us about that.
Yeah, we are in the midst of. We have over 1,000 bottles of wine that were donated to us. It's crazy. I actually have Vincent Irizarry. He was supposed to come this week to help me.
He's going to be on in a little while.
Oh, perfect. So he can tell you. He's a sommelier. I don't know if you know this. He's going to help me move these wines. But we were donated all these wines. I think the price point was a little off. So we're just going to try to move it for the holidays. But it's basically to put trauma kits in every classroom in America. That's the goal. The charity was in response. Well, there's a doc coming out about Parkland that my brother-in-law and father-in-law are producing and putting together. And out of that, organically came this charity that we're like, what can we do as parents to just save our kids' lives? It's not a gun policy. Go ahead.
I would love to do something on that documentary on the show. So
awesome. I'll let you know.
Parkland and what happened there, is something that I just,
I mean, I went through a lockdown with my own kids, and we went through a lockdown in our neighborhood in LA, and that was one of the scariest things, and the protocols were off. So it's a very not everybody wants to talk about it. It's a very sensitive issue, and there's the gun lobby, which go for it. But our number one concern is keeping our kids safe and keeping our kids alive. So
100%.
something like this goes down, you know, like we can't be
I
victims.
don't think you don't have, when you were in school, you didn't have to worry about.
No, it was fire
yeah,
drills.
you-
Fire
right,
drills.
Fire
Right.
drills.
When's the last time we had a fire in the schools?
Right.
I mean, I don't remember. I don't know. I don't see it. I heard a school shooting 2 days ago or 2 weeks ago or whenever it was last week.
No, Texas this week. Texas this
Yeah,
week had a school
exactly.
shooting. Yeah, kid walked in. Yeah, that should not
So
happen.
sad. So sad.
No, but
You
it's
know,
our new reality. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it really
was
is.
scary. Is I work in a school also. I teach drama classes at a school in the city, and
that's amazing.
the number one question that these kids have, like I was talking to them about, quick thinking skills, and when you're live, and how to access those muscles in your brain, and a kid goes, well, what happens if a shooter comes in when you're in a performance and starts? And I'm like, oh my god. This is what comes across their minds. Like, this is what they think about.
I mean, could you imagine? I could never imagine. I mean, it's just so.
Not a
We have this
reality.
wine. I will let you know. I'm in the process of doing everything I can. It's kind of on the heels of this documentary coming out, and a lot of good stuff, and it's something that we're really proud of.
That's awesome. Well, quickly before I let you go, we're slightly behind. What do you remember about working with each other?
She was this one. Like, look at her right now. Look at her. Look at her. Come on. What more do I have to say? It's like light. It's beautiful light.
I'm laughing because earlier earlier was talking. He was Mart, 81 or
Mart,
something.
yes,
80?
yes.
And he had so many memories. And I'm thinking, all I remember is rehearsing. I just remember rehearsing, and then I don't even remember performing. I just remember we had good times. Obviously, we had a lot of fun times at events and things like that. But I just was like, oh my God, our brains were always rehearsing, right?
Yeah. I wish we were still rehearsing like that. It's a different
it's a different ball game.
Oh my God.
And then
Jordi,
early
my
mornings.
friend.
It's fun. Early mornings in the
rehearsal hall.
That futon chair was my bed, my home away from home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were the good times.
Well,
Napping, working out in the gym. We worked out in the gym a lot.
Thank you both so much for stopping by, helping
you,
to raise money for autism. It's always great to see you, Jordi. Always great to see you, Nance. I might have to come up and take yoga with you.
Yes, do it.
Me too. If I'm in the city, I'll hit you up. I'll go check out your class.
I would love it. Bye, guys. So good to see you.
Bye. Great to see you guys. Bye.
All right. Liz, Jerry, Michael, I know we were going to talk about, we're sort of running a little behind, but for folks at home and watching, there are items to purchase on daytimestarsandstrikes.com. I know actors have donated phone calls, there's scripts, there's pocketbooks, a lot of stuff. Look, Jerry's holding up some guiding light books. Liz made a beautiful quilt that went in a second. She's going to show whoever made that purchase.
Gorgeous. Yeah, that went fast.
Yeah.
I'll have to start making some more.
How long did it take you?
Oh, wow. This takes about, it depends on my timing, but it takes about three weeks to a month, depending on how often I can work on it.
It's beautiful, Liz.
Yeah, they're beautiful. They're my COVID quilts. I mean, I just started making them, and then I've made so many of my kids. They've taken.
Did you know how to do that before COVID, or did you teach yourself during COVID?
I started it before. I started it when my son went off to school, and I became an empty nester, and I was a basket case for the first year. After both of them were gone in college, I just couldn't do anything but quilt. I started just quilting because I couldn't focus on anything. I had a problem making that transition, and then I really got into it. Yeah.
All right. Well, I will see you guys. I will see you guys in a little while. Okay.
Okay.
And anybody, please go to daytimestarsandstrikes.com and take a look around, see what you can purchase. And thanks for all the donations. There's been a lot of people during the show who have made donations. So thank you, everybody. See you in a bit. All right. So coming out now are the Reardon family. And I am not sure that any of these Reardons actually worked at the same time. Please welcome Kassie DePaiva, Melissa Hayden, Michael Woods, and I'm trying to get Kurt McKinney here in just a second. Hi, Cass.
Hello.
Melissa and Michael. I'm trying to get Kurt McKinney. So have any of you three worked together?
No.
No.
Unfortunately, no.
So the lost Reardons. Yeah. I wish I had. Melissa,
Yeah.
I remember came on, I think, after maybe you were there very, very briefly, because I left in 91.
Yeah, I didn't come until I think 92.
Okay. I guess not. I was only in my mind.
No, but I think you were maybe on another show at that time.
Probably. I went on One Life to Live.
Yeah.
But I didn't go on to live until 93, so I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I was on GL from 90 to 97, I think.
Okay.
91 to 97.
Well, maybe I just watched your performances.
Oh, you're sweet. Hello, Mike. So what did you guys play?
I played Chelsea Reardon.
Yeah.
I played Dr. Jim.
So Dr. Jim and Tony Reardon were brothers, right?
Correct.
And wasn't Tony and Jim my brother as well? I was the baby in the family?
You were, correct. The baby in the family.
Hi, baby sis.
Hi, honey.
So, we're doing this for charity, and I've asked a few people, what along the way, who are some of the people who've helped you along the way? Kassie? And I don't mean in this business, but, in terms of
Set of Guiding Light, I would say Ella Parker she was my big sister, and she literally put me under her wing because I had never worked in front of the camera ever. I'd come off the road singing, and I just finished a little movie. But when you start a soap like thrown in fire, and you got here, there's some butter in that pan, otherwise you're going to just burn. so bad.
And for you, Michael, who's helped you along the way? And I don't necessarily mean Guiding Light.
Well, obviously, my mom and dad. That's a start.
Yeah.
They got me here, right? And they were terrific in supporting me. Actually, my dad was a doctor, so the fact that I went into something, I started out in pre-med, but I said, no, get me the hell out of here. I'm going. A plus B always equals C. I wanted to know why it didn't equal D, E, and F. So I was more of an artsy fartsy guy. And so they supported me in that. So that was a big start. And then Gail Colby was terrific in bringing me to Guiding Light. I'd worked with her on Texas, and I'd gone. Texas ended, and I went back to LA and got a series with Jeannie Francis called Bare Essence, which was a nighttime show. And then that ended. And I happened to be back in New York with Harley, ran into Harley, and she's like, go say hi to Gail. And I did, and she offered me a contract that was just ridiculous in terms of outs. I had an out after a year. I said, well, what the hell? Got nothing to lose. As an actor, to be employed, and with great people. And in light of that, I'd just like to say I'd like to honor Michael Tylo today. Michael passed away about 10 days ago. Michael and I are both from Detroit, number one, but also we had a blast doing Guiding Light. My storyline was so crazy. We had the best outtakes because I could never say the name of the disease that we were curing. It was one of those 15, 20-letter words that I just kept screwing up, and Michael and I had great outtakes, which ended up on those blooper reels that NBC used to do. So anyway, God bless Michael, and that's who I'm thinking of.
Awesome. And Melissa, Kassie is your aunt, FYI.
Oh, okay. Hello.
What about you? Who's helped you along the way?
Well, I mean, honestly, on Guiding Light, there were these people like Bill Rourke and Kinkead, right? And Ellen Parker, and I mean, phenomenal. We were so lucky. We were so fortunate in the people that we got to spend time with. I mean, that was just incredible. But going back, for me, I was a tap dancer when I was coming up. So my first tap teacher and was super influential. In fact, I said to him that I wanted to be an actor, and he's like, don't. He's like, if there's anything else you can do, go do something else. And I was like, but I really want, and he's like, okay, then, you're going to have to work hard. This is what you got to do, blah, blah, blah. And then I ended up I was super fortunate when I was young. I got a couple movies back to back. And the second one was this musical called Annie. And John Huston was directing it. And I got to go and stand behind that man for weeks on end and just watch. I was so fortunate. I mean, it was unbelievable, and at one point I couldn't believe it. At one point he turned to me and he goes, what do you think, baby? What do we need to do here? And I was like, well, if that guy said that to me, I'd get out of there. And he goes, oh, Carol Burnett, will you try this, please? And she tried it and it worked, and they kept it in the, I mean, like, who does that? It was insane. I was so lucky. Anyway. That's enough of me.
Well, thank you both for stopping by. I so appreciate it. I know we're running behind. People are trying to get into the studio, but I know the fans love seeing your faces, and it means a lot, and it's for a great cause. So thank you so much.
And please, if you can, donate.
Please.
I'm trying to donate, and it's kicking out my information, so I don't know why. If anyone else
Okay. Well, Wendy, if you're listening, Wendy will look into that. So hopefully we'll get back to that.
Great.
Thanks, Melissa.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you. Thanks for having us doing this.
Thanks for having
You're
us.
so welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. We're trying to Kassie. I don't know what happened to Kassie. See if Cassie's coming back. But Mr. John Bolger, hello, my friend.
Hey, Alan. How are you?
I'm great. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Great to see you too, my friend. Great to see you.
And I'm going to bring Mr. Michael O'Leary back out.
Johnny boy.
Mikey!
Hey!
How are you, Mikey?
Oh, good, buddy. Missing you, man.
I miss you too. I had a tinge of St. Patrick's Day there for a second, seeing that smiling face of yours.
And now let me bring out Mr. Vincent Irizarry. Hi, Vincent.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Vincent.
How you doing?
I'm
Good to
good.
see you.
Good. Look at you.
Long time no see.
Long time.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you look
John,
great.
Are you on the East Coast or West Coast?
I'm just a couple miles from where you grew up. I live in Centerport.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
North Shore of Long Island.
Yeah. There you go. There you
There
go.
you go.
And Mikey,
Yeah.
you're still
Hey, Vinny.
still in New Jersey?
I'm still in New Jersey. Yeah.
Cool.
Right on
Excellent.
the
Yeah.
New Jersey shore.
Everybody. Hello, Alan. Good to see
Hey,
you too.
Vincent. We're trying to get Grant, who thought he was in, but I do not see him. There he is. Grant.
Mr. Grant Alexander. How are you, sir?
Look at
Hey,
that.
Grant.
Finally. Look. Finally. Thank you all for being here. What do you remember about time working with? Vincent worked with Grant and John and Michael, and John worked with Michael and Vincent and all that. So,
Well, I worked with both Phillips. How you doing, guys? So
Hey,
I
Vin.
definitely did. Yeah. No, it was great. I mean, I remember when I first started on the show working with both Grant and with Michael. It was a very special experience. I'd never done television before. It was my first TV role. And it was only supposed to be 3 days. And, it was great. It worked. It was a lot of fun. Even though I was kind of that scrawny little leader of a street gang that Grant could have like blown me over like this. Get out of my, like I'm an annoying gnat. I was like the prototypical starving actor. So I did. I looked like, I was a nose with a fedora and hair. That was it. So, but I had a great time. It was nice meeting everybody. Certainly with Judy. Is Judy coming on with us today or no? She's not.
she's not. She was unable to make it.
Oh, okay. That's too bad. I would love to see her too. So,
What do you all remember about the charity games? You all used to play softball and.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played. We used to play As the World Turns, and it was when Meg Ryan was on there, and Julianne Moore was on there at the time. Yeah, there was like a lot of people that was there. Marissa Tomei was there as well. It was at the same time that we used to play softball with them. So, and then they all won. Even Parker Posey was there on that show at the time, if you remember.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We had a great time. I think we actually played the New York Giants one time, and we almost beat them.
Oh, really?
We had a good team.
I was not on the team then.
We had a really good team. Well, we just played like 400 yards out in the outfield, but it seems like we did those games almost every weekend, and we loved it. It was a good time of camaraderie with the cast, and it was great.
Michael, I thought it'd be fun if you did some of your impressions while you have some of these guys here who you probably did impressions. Grant's bowing his head. Grant's bowing his head already.
Well, one of the things that Grant and I used to laugh at is that he used to have sex with all of my girlfriends and wives on the show, and
glad you said on the show.
On the show, I did say on the show, right? Yeah. So think of everybody I've been with, and I think Grant, you were with everyone except Abigail. Right.
I think that's correct.
So the one time I cheated on his wife was Harley. The conversation went something like this.
Prepare yourselves.
Rick. So you had sex with Harley. You had sex with Harley. Why? Phillip, you were in a insane asylum, and I tried to find you, and I just, she hugged me, and one thing led to another. Oh yeah, one thing led to another. That's that's the best you can do, Rick. That's it. We're not talking. And the best thing about it is that the next day he forgave me. And all was okay. It was like all the women cared about who watched our show was that Rick and Phillip would still be friends. Right, Grant?
They would.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
They would.
They were another super couple. Phillip and Rick. Yeah. There you go.
John.
It was
and
great
Grant,
to have that. I mean, we were lucky that. Yeah.
Oh, that friendship's amazing. Johnny and Grant, I just found out a fun little fact that Beth, Chamberlin, and John just played husband and wife in a comedy series.
Yeah, she texted me, was telling me about that. That's really fantastic. Did you guys have fun?
Oh, it was sort of like an incredibly insane. I mean, think of all the times we had off stage, backstage. I mean, I wish so many times that what Beverly and Warren Burton were saying could have been taped, because it was the most entertaining, obscene, wonderful madness. And this is kind of what that was like as well. I mean, this was I mean, the director, who was also the star, wanted to know about, she said, I like to do a lot of improv. Well, it turned out that we would do 1 or 2 pages of dialogue and then improv the scene for hours. Thank God for high definition. I have no idea. I know she was spending most of the summer editing it, but I have no idea. It was just insane. And she was quite, brilliant. I mean, it was sort of like stand up, but just stream of consciousness madness. It was almost like, when you get actors in a car drinking, in a limo drinking, not driving, but for a long period of time, and then what a good idea just becomes silliness, and then it becomes madness, and then you have no idea if it's funny or not, but everybody's laughing. So that's kind of what it was like. But she was amazing. Yeah, she's truly an incredible.
I always thought it was a sad thing on the show because they always playing the character Beth. The show had all this dramatic stuff to do, and Beth is really very, very funny. And great with comedy.
Yeah, she's like Betty White funny. She's like crazy, smart, intuitive, like sort of a little kooky and serious at the same time, and you don't know which is which. So she's amazing. It was a great pleasure spending a couple of weeks doing that with her. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I loved it. Well, and I know the fans will really enjoy it when it comes out. Guys, I'm sorry we're running behind. I should have made segments a little longer, but thank you so much for stopping by. Grant, don't go anywhere. And Michael, stick around. But Johnny, Vincent, always great to see you. Everybody.
Great to see you guys.
Vince, John, great seeing you guys, man.
You too. Thanks, Grant. Vince, be well, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. That's right. Get out of here. Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
Nope, not really. Where do I touch here?
I got you. Don't worry. Mr. Rickhurst, Grant Alexander. There you go. How are you?
Is that Grant? And Michael? Hey, Rick. Oh, my God. What are you, the freaking picture of Dorian Gray, Alexander? For Christ's sakes, age, will you? Well, look at you.
My makeup people are just leaving the room.
I know. Mikey finally caught up with me.
Yeah.
What? What was that again?
I was thinking.
Hi, boys.
Wow. Welcome to the club, buddy.
Indeed, indeed. Oh, I've been in the club since I was in my mid-30s, but Just for Men was my best friend for about 20
Oh, please. I did it for years. Grant used to just get so angry with me. He would say, he says, Mikey, stop coloring your hair. You look like Eddie Munster.
Well, you did.
I did, yeah.
And not to mention what you made the sink look like in the dressing room.
Stop it.
Well, guys, I'm gonna bring out Sonia Satra, and I'm gonna bring out Kassie DePaiva.
Guys, Kassie, hi.
Hey, Kassie.
Hi.
God, it's so good to see you.
I'm good. I was thinking of you the other day, Sonia. Every time I put a highlight in my hair here, I go, I'm going to look like Sonia Satra.
Wow. Well, thanks.
Thank you all for stopping by. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to the fans, and we're trying to raise some money for autism, so really appreciate it. Kassie was having some internet trouble, but
I'm on my phone.
I was trying to get her with John Bolger and Grant, since she had a taste of both Phillips, I believe.
I did. A big bite.
I know, Grant's just smirking along over there.
I was lucky. So did I miss the segment with the Phillips?
You did. Johnny just left.
Well, my computer is still on the glitch, but I'm up here in the boondocks, so sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Well, thanks for stopping by, Kassie. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Bye, bye, Cass.
Bye.
Bye.
Who's leaving? Oh, okay.
Cassie's leaving. How's everybody doing? Sonia, Rick, Grant?
Good. Excellent. Excellent.
I'm glad I wasn't late. I was actually Sean Kanan came into town, and he called me the last minute, and he says, hey, you want to go have lunch? And I'm like, okay. So I literally flew in the door, hit the head, and then was in front of the computer.
Were there some beverages involved, Rick?
What's that?
Were there some beverages involved?
Yeah, no, actually, half of the beverage. I can't.
That doesn't count.
Put it away. I still, I thought when I'd get older, I'd start to love alcohol more. Just doesn't happen.
Well, that's good. You're lucky.
Food though. No, that's a whole different story.
Well, I was on a train back from Boston, and we got delayed out of the gate. Then we delayed again, and then again. I was like, "Oh my God!"
Were you on Amtrak?
Yes, I was. Good old
Yeah.
Amtrak. It was an
Good old
hour and
Amtrak.
10 minutes late. So I too was cutting it close, but really happy to be here.
Happy to have you all. What do you remember about your time working together?
Oof, a lot.
Laughs.
Where do I start?
Laughs. Made me pee myself more than one time. Same. Grant has the ability to be completely focused and in there, and you're not sure whether he's going to break or whether he's completely serious with you. That's probably my favorite part of working with Grant, because he was always there with you regardless. He wasn't gonna break personally, but he's like, "Are you there? Are you with me?" Hysterical times for both of the boys up here, and the lady to my left there was just an angel. An absolute angel to work with. It was. Vincent was talking about it before. It was such a special time that no matter how many projects or shows that you participate in or involved in, after that they in some areas they're equal, but most times they kind of pale in comparison because you become such a tight-knit family. I mean, not to mention the fact we were all at the studios on 44th Street. Were there studios, boys, before?
We were on 40. Well, I was on 41st. Or
Yeah,
41st.
we started on
44th.
studio on 26th
44th,
Street.
yeah.
26, right.
26, yeah.
And that was CBS. I can't remember. That wasn't CBS. Was that CBS there?
Yeah, it was CBS. It was an old studio next to Fashion Institute of Technology
Right.
on 26 between 7th and 8th that a guy named Hy Brown, who was a radio pioneer, owned. And it was kind of a dump, but the great thing about it was that it was our dump. There was nothing else in the building except us. So it was pretty great.
Yeah, yeah. That was it. It was like walking into a repertory company, like into that building. 44th was the same feeling for me as well. My favorite, Mikey knows that Mikey had sort of a recurring sort of story that he would throw out for every new young actor that was coming onto the show.
You remember that, huh?
How could I forget it? Because the only reason, because poor Carl fell for it, and I looked just sideways. I didn't just fall.
I think every actor. Carl,
did you fall? Did you fall for it, Rick?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
Did I
What was the story? I don't think I got it.
I don't know that we can share that.
Yeah, and Paolo Benedetti. I wouldn't share it as well. It's not PG appropriate for everybody.
Got it. But anyway, it was quite the story. No, there was a lot of fun times there.
Well, I'm gonna bring out some more family members while we're doing this. Beth Chamberlin.
Hi there.
Hey. How are ya?
I am also.
Oh my goodness.
And Crystal Hunt, who played Lizzie.
Hi. Oh, hi.
Hey, Crystal, how are you, sweetie?
Crystal.
Good. It's been so long since I've seen my. Right?
It looks like Hollywood Squares.
Exactly.
Sonia Center Square.
I do. I know. It's like, oh God.
Do your best Paul Lind impression. Do your best Paul Lind impression.
I don't have one. Rick, I'll defer. You're the impressionist.
Or Mikey.
Mikey's got that one.
Mikey's so good.
I must say, my parents have not aged a bit since I've seen them.
Well, we're gonna get you fitted with some new glasses, honey.
I gotta tell you, I'm impressed. I still have 20/15 vision. I have no idea how, but I guess I do.
God bless you. The check is in the mail.
I'll be waiting.
So, Alan, have you raised a lot of money today for?
I think we had a lot of things for sale on the website. We had a lot of things for sale on the website that went instantly. Liz made a beautiful quilt. Some people offered phone calls and different things, but yeah, and I've seen fans. It's hard for me to see all the comments, but I know a lot of people say they've donated. So,
right.
Hopefully, hopefully it's a great cause. So.
And I'm sure earlier that old man conversation that I was listening to about Just for Men, I'm sure that was just rolling the bunch.
Yes, your products.
Yeah. Yeah, that was.
You gotta be happy now, Michael. Aren't you just thrilled the way you look now?
Oh, I'm so glad that
we all
have to do that anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, Tina was saying she was talking you out of that. Hey, Beth, did you hear John Bolger talking about working with you?
No, I didn't. Tina told me, and that was such a fun experience because it was just kind of weird because through the years I had heard John's name, people that had been around when he was there or whatever, but I didn't know who he was, and then I ended up working on that comedy series with him, and we had just had a really very nice guy and just had such a blast with that. It was really fun, but unfortunately I was having computer problems, so I was not able to get on yet, so I didn't hear that.
That's okay.
Well, he hated working with you.
He did. He just pain in the butt.
So he told the truth. Okay.
Yeah. In a nutshell.
He loved you. He loved you.
It was really fun. It was just a really fun experience. But in this age of COVID, that was the first thing I worked on since the whole COVID thing. And it was really fascinating, getting the tests the day before. And then, even though I was fully vaccinated, I certainly didn't have any symptoms. The anxiety about possibly it coming up positive, because they did during that have 2 people who tested positive. Turned out it was a false positive, but as soon as somebody tests positive, it shuts down the production. So you don't want to be that person that shuts down the production still. Even if it's a false positive, you don't want to be that person. So it was really interesting.
Oh, I'm sure. I have no doubt. As for Just for Men, I actually had a little experience of that over the quarantine or the pandemic because I spent some time in Florida with my family. And I decided to sneak some of it in my dad's shampoo bottle because he's very Southern and like men don't dye their hair and blah, 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 blah. So it's supposed to gradually, get rid of some of the grays because he's got such a thick mane of hair. But I'm like, God, Dad, there's too many grays that have just like sprung up out of nowhere. And I was actually getting away with it until his hair turned out looking like, a black cotton ball, like a brown, well, I would say one of those terrible brown shades of cotton balls that used to like make stuff with in school. I was like, what did you put in my shampoo? I'm like, nothing. I have no idea. I did nothing to your shampoo. First, actually, he said the housekeeper. And he looked at it and it changed color. So I wasn't able to pull that one off for very long.
That's very clever, though. Really
So Rick and Mikey, don't
do that to
Crystal
Steve.
come and visit you.
Yes, exactly. FYI. Don't visit
Rick and
Crystal.
Sonia, thank you for stopping by. Sorry, it's a little chaotic at the moment.
No worries.
Yeah, happy to be here.
I really appreciate
See
it.
you, Rick. Bye,
Great seeing you
everybody.
guys.
Great seeing you.
Take care.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
I love how we go into different.
Right? I know. Well, I'm gonna bring out a family member who not everybody knows here except Tina and maybe Grant. Rebecca Staub, who played Jesse Matthews.
Oh,
Hi,
My
Rebecca.
niece.
Hey, Rebecca, how are you?
Yes.
Calla's daughter. Calla's daughter. Don't you love that Pam called me Calla and Lily. Calla Lily.
Oh, I know. I think of that every time.
I do too. It always makes me think of it.
Oh,
Very
I
funny.
love that.
I haven't seen
Love
John.
that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was.
I was trying to say hi to him. So when you talk to John, tell him I said hi.
I will tell John Bolger you send his love. Tina, and Rebecca, what do you remember about working with Lisby?
She'd eat a pea at breakfast and say, "Oh, my stomach's going to be so big. I had a pea," and she meant it. She had a little pea. And then one time, she never was on time. She'd say, "Well, the alarm clock, something fell on the alarm clock and turned it off." Do you remember these excuses? They were wonderful. They were hilarious. Rebecca, do you remember them? No.
I don't remember that at all.
But anyway, she was gorgeous and she was so much fun, but she really did not eat. And of course, I was always having M&Ms or something. So,
Yeah.
But I just thought she was terrific.
She was just a doting mother, but she was so
Is she around somewhere, Alan?
She was always
I don't know.
like
I need
baby.
to look.
She always called me baby.
I need
Baby.
to look into her. Tina,
Yeah.
you look fabulous, by the way, Tina.
Thank you.
Tina has not.
Exactly the same.
You look great, Tina.
You do.
You do.
Can't agree more.
Go on.
It must be in the genes.
Yes, seriously.
It is. But don't, I mean, I think that's true. I think things are in the genes. So that's why Beth's looking so good.
Exactly.
I do everything Tina tells me to do.
You do.
Yes.
Well, hey, I would too. I would too. Beth, how was it filming La Reina de la Sol in Colombia?
It was really fantastic. It's such a great group of people. Interesting thing, many years ago, many years ago, I did the William Esper program. It's this 2-year acting program, and tons of actors have gone through that. The person in this playing my right-hand man, he and I did that program together all these years ago. Haven't seen one another since, but he's bilingual. So he speaks, I mean, my character obviously only speaks English, but his character speaks both English and Spanish. But it's a very smart show. It's really interesting. It was the original, when they originally shot it was back in 2011, and then somehow Netflix became involved in it, and they wanted to do another season. So the next season was shot in 2018, I think. And then I'm in the 3rd season, which hasn't started airing yet. But just really, really fun, really interesting, going to another country to shoot another whole thing with, the COVID protocols and everything there. So
but thank God you had him being bilingual there, because I went there too, not like a handful of months ago. And oh my God, I was so screwed without my iTranslate app. I was just like, okay.
Yes, I was trying to.
Everybody has to be patient.
I mean, I did have certain people around me were bilingual. That was sort of part of the deal. But yes, I was trying to learn Spanish as fast as I could before I was going there.
Right?
So that I could just communicate a little bit. But yeah, so because most of the crew, you're right, most of the crew did not speak English. But
I'm not sure we did on Guiding Light either, Beth.
What did you say?
I said, I don't think all of us spoke it on Guiding Light.
So, and certainly nobody understood me on either Guiding Light or in Bogota. So it was all the same to me. But yeah, it was.
And La Reina de la Sol is on Netflix, and Rebecca's got Love Hard movie coming to Netflix on November 5th, and she's going to be back with me on November 3rd to talk about that. Where did you film that? Where did you film that, Rebecca?
Vancouver, which is where I am right now. Yeah, most everything. I've been up here. Well, I mean, LA is still home, but I'm back and forth and have an apartment up here. So, 99.9% of what I've been shooting is all in Vancouver.
Great.
Yeah, I love her.
Well, who do you play in this?
In Love Hard, I'm the stepmother. I'm married to James Sato, who, ironically, speaking about being in class together, he and I were in Uta Hagen's class together.
I was too.
In 1996, because he came, and I kind of like followed him like through all of these years, but I've never worked with him. And he came on set. I'm like, you were in Uta's class, right? In 96. He's like, yeah. I'm like, and you would sit like up in the like that upper left-hand corner. And he's like, how do you remember that? I'm like, I just remember you from class. So yeah, he's my husband. And then Jimmy O Yang and Harry Shaw are my stepsons. And then Nina Rev comes to town.
I love Harry from Glee.
Oh my God, he and I had so much fun. We created a whole kind of separate storyline, this mother-son, kind of crazy performer kind of mother-son thing. So he was a riot. I love him. He's one of the sweetest guys.
That's awesome. Grant, how's Sherry?
Doing okay. She's still always busy with a lot of the animal stuff. She does a lot of consulting. She's still writing legislation and taking calls from everybody on the planet every time there's something wrong that involves an animal. So pretty much status quo.
Thank God for people like Sherry.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. In every way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you all so much for being here. Grant, Beth, Tina, Crystal, Rebecca. I'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye,
Thank you,
guys.
Alan.
So good to
Nice
see
to
you.
see everyone.
Great
I like
seeing you guys.
in person, though.
Nice seeing
Same
you.
here.
Yes, next year. Let's try in person. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Mike. Bye, Grant. Bye, Alan.
Bye, Beck.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Mikey, I'll see you in a little while.
How do I get
Crystal.
out? Oh, did I get out?
I'll get you out. All right. Jerry verDorn, come on back. Liz Keifer, come on back. And now joining us, Gina Tagnoni, another one of our fabulous Dyna Marlers.
Yay!
Hi, Gina.
Yay!
Hi, guys.
Hi, Gina.
Hi, Gina.
Hi, Beauty. Hi, Jerry. Hi, Liz.
Hi, sweetheart.
Alan, thanks for having me. This is
I love
great.
your haircut. And hey, Jerry and Liz, I don't know if you saw it, but Gina did a nice promo for today's benefit, playing at her piano. She did
Oh,
a
I
nice-
didn't see it. I was kicked out of the studio.
I was
No,
tinkering.
She did it on Instagram. She posted a thing to promote today's show.
Oh,
and
how
she
cool.
Yeah, it was great.
You know, my piano, I love my piano. My hubby surprised me with this piano, I guess this year. And it's a great story. He got it from the arts program at Seton Hall. They have a program for their musical students. And it's really neat. They play the instruments, violin, the piano, and then they move it on to an auction at the end of the school year. And then they bring in, the college brings in more instruments. It's really a really beautifully supported program. My husband found out about the auction, but because of COVID and 2020, these instruments were not used. So they had an abundance of instruments. He got involved with the auction and we got the piano and it was so good. It's so good. So it's very special.
How long have you been playing?
You know, on and off since I was 9 and mostly off. But you know what's funny is through this whole thing, this whole pandemic, I don't know, it took me to stop working almost to realize how much I love just sitting in front of the piano and playing. It's just another form of creation, you know, and it's another way to kind of talk from your heart. And it's very therapeutic for me, very therapeutic. So it was a nice surprise. I think he knew that I needed another way to express myself, you know, other than acting.
I get that. That's why I started making quilts.
Quilts, yes.
I was just editing and finding, I love making the design and just working with my hands and just creating something, and it's meditation.
That's it.
And it's something that keeps me focused in the here and now instead of, all over.
Jerry, how are you doing?
I'm well, Gina. You look so great.
Oh, thanks. So do you. You look good and you look so wise. You look incredibly wise.
I missed this. Where are you?
I'm in my kitchen. And that's
the three of us, Jerry,
Oh,
Gina, Jerry, and I are in New Jersey.
Yeah. Other than my kitchen, I'm in New Jersey. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're in New York?
And I'm in New York. I'm in New York.
Thought so.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Still here.
So I've been trying to ask a lot of people when we have time. Fundraising means you have to ask for help and hope for generosity from others.
Yes.
Who have helped you along the way, Gina?
What's your question?
Who has helped you along the way?
Oh my God. Who hasn't helped me? I've always needed a lot of help. No, first of all, I love raising money. It's a thing. I love it. So any opportunity I have to get people kind of excited about a cause. First of all, when it came to acting, you know, that was something I enjoyed doing, but because we were involved in this incredible machine, we had like privy to go to Hands-On Network. We had so many opportunities to raise money during the year. As you know, Alan, you were involved in so much of that, right? Yeah. And the Red Cross. And I really got the bug from that. So, you know, after Guiding Light, my family and I spearheaded this project called Soul 9 Shoes that we developed a women's line that was basically around the thought of you walk in love. We create a life from the inside out. You know, and that was the intention of the shoe line,
portion of our proceeds went to domestic violence. So I kind of really got on the other side of creating something where, you know, put your name and your face and then your energy and your resources to raise money. And I had an opportunity to, you know, speak to women across the country for a good year, and even well into my experience at YNR. And that was great, but it was a lot of work. It wasn't, you know, it's what inspired me was Tom's. Remember, we saw Tom's with buy one, get one, where you buy and portion of your proceeds would go to children. And it was very inspiring and it looked really good, but it's not easy. And you really have to be very careful. And as far as keeping the intention pure and making sure that you're crossing all your T's and dotting your I's. But what a great experience. But I loved it. And it's something I'm always looking into. Sharing sort of what we've been given, you know, what I've been given with others, even if it's with students, you know, acting students, through my friends at Art Academy in Pueblo, Colorado. We did some work there, working with the kids, mentoring them, just telling them what it's like being in front of a camera and sort of how to relate to people. So yeah. So I love that, and I always will continue to make that a part of my life.
Well, that's awesome. Gee, I don't know where.
Where's Jeff? Is he coming today?
I thought he was. I don't know. You know, if he might be late, but I don't know. Yeah, okay. I texted him, but I didn't hear from him. So, you know, if I hear from him, we'll try and get you and he together another time.
That's fine. I love it.
Good. We'll try and do that. Thank you so much for stopping by, G.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
This is what a fun opportunity just to sit and see each other.
I know.
See everybody's faces, right?
Yeah.
Really good.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, G.
Bye,
Jerry
guys.
Liz, I'll see you in a little while.
You got it.
Okay. Yes. So sorry, Vincent just texted. I might be bringing him back because he wanted to mention something, but I'll see you two in a couple minutes.
Okay.
All right. Give me 1 second. I'm going to say hello to Krista Testro. Hello, darling. It's so good to see you. Krista, can you hear me? Krista? Turn up. I can't hear you. I'm going to try to come back. Yeah, I can't hear you. You might need to turn up your volume. It doesn't say you're muted. Okay. Keep trying. I am going to bring out the fabulous Emmy winner, Miss Kim Zimmer. Hello, darling. If you want to turn do you want to turn your screen? Because then it'll perfect.
Is that okay?
Yes. Robert had texted he's going to be late. I don't know where Mr. Jeff Branson is, but I'd love to bring.
You can hear
I can
me?
hear you great. I can hear you fabulously. I'm going to bring out, and I'm so excited she's here because I, you know, grew up watching Guiding Light, but Ms. Rebecca Holland, who played Trish Lewis. Yay! Rebecca Holland, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Hi, lady.
And Krista Tessera. Krista, can we hear you? No.
I can't hear her yet.
Rebecca, it's so nice to meet you. Thank you so much for doing this.
It's a pleasure.
Pleasure.
I couldn't
Hi,
wait to.
Rebecca, you look fantastic.
Thank you. You're very sweet.
It's been a long
so great
time.
To see you guys.
Yeah.
Been a long time. Kim's in New Mexico. Where are you, Rebecca?
Right now I'm in LA.
Oh.
Is that where you live?
My younger daughter is moving out here. My older daughter already lives here.
Wow. You live out there now.
I couldn't hear you.
You live out there now.
No. I'm in New York, but she was had a little part in a web series, and so I trotted out to play stage mommy. No, I didn't really, but I'm just visiting friends out here.
What do you two remember about your time working together?
Oh, that I didn't get enough time working with Kim. Basically, that was always my complaint, is that I just never got enough time.
We had a lot of laughter, though.
That's true.
With Jordan and Jerry, and oh my God. Yeah, we
Yeah,
did
but I
not
always
get to work
wanted,
together.
yeah, I always wanted to tear it up with you, but
Yeah.
that was not going to happen.
Krista's son Mikey's going to try and help her get on.
Yeah, you
I
have
can't
to
hear
get the teenagers to help you do this stuff.
You do. It's been
And I
so
don't have
funny throughout.
teenagers anymore.
You know, when they leave the house, you lose your tech support.
Exactly. I'm waiting for my 3-year-old grandson to teach me how to do all this stuff, because he'll do it better than
That's
me.
right.
She's a 3-time grandma now.
I have 3
Excellent.
grandchildren. Yeah, 2 boys and a girl.
Oh, I bet you're the
girl
best grandma.
What? Pardon
I
me?
bet you're the best grandma.
I like to think I'm pretty good.
Yeah, you would be so fun. The fun
We have a
grandma.
lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. My granddaughter, my middle son Max's daughter, they've been in Italy, and she started walking in Italy.
Oh,
so
wow.
that was kind of exciting.
Wow, that's crazy. Hey, Rebecca, tell
not
us
on the
about
cobblestones, I hope. Uh-oh.
On
Not on the
cobblestones.
cobblestones.
On cobblestones.
Oh my gosh.
your
That
brother
was
and
just
your brother, your husband, and Krista's uncle is about to sign on. He just walked in his house, so Robert Newman will join us in a minute. He was running late. Rebecca, tell us about Sextet, a collection of 6 short stories that you produced, co-directed, and edited.
Thank you for the plug. That's very sweet. My kids moved out. I found a little a theater company in New York City, all women. I'm doing is we do 3 full production, do everything ourselves, which I think in itself is pretty impressive. But when the pandemic hit, can't do plays. So I was one of the only people in the company that's any television experience. So I just either bravely or stupidly said, "Hey, we can do this virtually. Let's go." So I took the budget and I hired a friend who was a director, and I found the playwright. We got 6 little comedies that feature women, and I became a co-director, producer, and the videographer and the video editor, and we just went for it. And it's going to be a really lovely piece. I'm excited. It's going to come out probably in January. I'll give you all the details when we get them nailed down.
Fantastic.
That's great.
But it's been really fun.
You're on the East Coast, so you and Kim should be doing a stage thing together.
I don't have
we could do that.
Yeah, Rebecca's having some internet.
I know. I was going to say she got silent when you said that, Alan.
No, I think it's she's having
Rebecca,
some.
hire me.
Yeah, Rebecca's frozen.
Yeah. No, let's talk, Kim.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's God. Fans would come out in a minute.
Something in mind for Robert as well.
Oh,
what?
Oh, that would be amazing. She has something in mind for.
No,
Robert
I have something
too.
in mind for us to do a project together. Actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
Then I'd finally
That's
get
awesome.
to work with you.
Kim, how is doing Mamma Mia with Robert?
Oh, we had nothing to do together at all. Because I was Rosie, I had a different love interest, and I got a pinch in during curtain call. I pinched his fanny during curtain call, and that was about it.
Hi, Robert.
Hi, guys.
Rebecca just got bumped off for some odd reason. Hopefully she'll.
I was just saying that the only thing I got to do with you and Mamma Mia was pinch your fanny in the curtain call.
and not in the curtain call, and whenever you felt like pinching my fanny.
Whenever I had the opportunity to pinch his fanny,
some things never change. Yeah.
Robert, you
It
look
was fun. We had a
fantastic.
great time.
Thanks.
You
Sorry,
didn't have a great time?
just ran in.
No,
I was talking about whether or not I looked fantastic.
Oh.
No, actually, no. I'll say this about Mamma Mia. I love watching Kim Zimmer work on stage. I just want to say that right up front. I mean, you know, Kim, you just have this thing of taking everything you bring to the table, who you are, your own personality, your own look, everything else, and you just bring it to whatever character you're playing. And you know, I had a change I had to do towards the end of the show during your last big number with Patrick, and I get there for about the second half of it or so, and it just was, you know, just standing off stage watching your work is just a joy.
Oh,
so I just want to say that. Yeah.
You're a sweetheart.
Robert, here's your little sister.
Hello, Rebecca.
Hi, darling. No, he's my little brother.
Oh,
yeah,
something
I think
like
that's
that.
right.
But I appreciate the age change.
Something.
How
like
are
that.
you, handsome?
Hey,
I'm
Rebecca,
doing.
I think Trish was the only one that really kind of liked Reva.
Yes.
I think
I was always ready to be open.
Yes.
I was always ready to be open to you. I was.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yes. No, it's true. She always was ready to be open and try to give you a second shot. I think it was because she loved Josh so much. You know,
Rebecca,
and yes, what?
Rebecca, I not long ago, a few months ago, I think, I tracked down and found my first scene on Guiding Light, and it was with you in a bar.
I
know. And Bruce Berry was directing, and I had on a big overcoat, and I posted, I think, that scene on Facebook or something like that, and but it just brought back these great memories of, you know, just early on in the show when it was you know, about the Spauldings and the about the whole business thing, people going back and forth with each other, and Los Tres Amigos,
Lewis Oil.
Yeah. It was just a hoot, and you were so gracious to me. Yeah.
Well, here's another friend of yours, Jerry verDorn.
Hello, Jerry verDorn.
Jerry, my love.
I always love it because Jerry always has critters in the background.
Yes.
Always had what?
And your wife. And Beth.
I have her working.
You look very dapper, Jerry verDorn.
Well, thank you. I've got my Christmas tie on, which is for sale at the auction, of course.
I'll take that.
And is the entire wardrobe for sale in the auction, of course?
Well, you can't be a saint in a whorehouse, you know. You got to go for it. We're here to raise money.
Funny.
Can I donate something to the auction? I didn't know there was an auction.
Hell, it's the donations to autism, but and we're raising money.
I'll take care of that after. Okay.
I hope everyone is donating. DaytimeStarsandStrikes.com. Kim has New Mexico.
Pardon me?
How's New Mexico?
Oh my God, the weather has been just extraordinary. We've been taking long hikes up in the mountains and way too long bike rides for my fanny. You know, AC is like a master biker, and I'm still breaking in my butt cheeks. So, not to mention other parts of my body. But it's been great. Like I said, the weather there's snow up in the mountain. Over the Sangre de Cristos have snow. I mean, this is a great time of year the aspens are all turning color, and I mean, it's extraordinary this time of year.
It's a special place, New Mexico.
Yeah, it's the land of enchantment. Come on.
It really is.
And how are all the grandbabies, Robert and Kim?
Well, I'm heading up. We're heading up on Wednesday. Leo's birthday is let's see, the 14th. So that would be when 14th is Thursday. So we're heading up on Wednesday for a few days for Leo's birthday on the 14th. There's a big party on Saturday, I think. And then I think it's okay for me to now announce that Caroline and Connor, Caroline is pregnant with Leo's brother.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Who I understand is due on Connor's birthday, which is April 3rd.
Oh, wow.
Wonderful.
Krista, you need to unmute your mic.
Hi, Krista Tesro. That's all I think of you as, Krista Tesro.
You can't hear anything.
Hi, now can you hear me?
Yes, finally.
Yay! Thank you.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Now she's frozen.
No.
That's Mikey, my son.
Yeah. Oh, hi, honey.
Hi. I've seen everybody except I have not seen Rebecca Holland in forever. Hi.
Hi. Where are you? Where are you living
You
now?
guys
Are
can
you
hear me,
out
right?
here in California?
I am. Now, are you? I'm in Santa Monica.
I'm in Venice, so we better, we need to have a drink. Yeah.
Get out of town.
Yep.
Get together for a drink.
Would love to have coffee with you.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
Okay. How do we
I would love
contact
it.
one another?
I'll put you in touch afterwards.
Oh, thank you. Put us together, Alan. Thank you.
I will do that for sure.
And I need to be able to get in touch with everybody actually. In this
Oh.
room.
I will make
really,
sure
if you guys are okay with it, because I want to talk about working with all of you. So
yes,
she has a part for everybody. Jerry, I'm going to put you backstage. Rebecca, thank you so much for stopping by.
Oh,
Nice
it's
to see you, Rebecca.
I was so happy to see my wonderful babies. Love it.
Take good care.
Kim and Robert, stay here for a minute, but I'm going to put you two backstage and bring Vincent back out for a moment. So give me just a second. Kim, don't go anywhere. Robert, don't go anywhere.
Bye, Rebecca.
Bye, Rebecca.
Aw.
Krista, stay there for a minute. Vincent's going to come out here.
Bye.
Hey. Hi,
Vincent
Krista.
wanted to mention something, and I wanted to give him the opportunity.
Yeah.
Vincent, take it away.
When we finished before, it was so abrupt. We were on for a few minutes.
I know. So I apologize.
That's okay. I understand. But I did want to, first of all, give a shout out to my beautiful godson, Colin, whom I love very much. He's also autistic. And he's just a little angel boy. He's not really a boy anymore. He's 24 years old, but he's got the heart of an angel. We love him dearly. My sister Tracy and my brother-in-law Peter, they're his parents. And I just want to thank Liz and Jerry for doing this, for participating in this charity, organizing this charity for as many years as you have, because this has been going on for quite a while. So, there are a lot of people out there that are touched personally by this illness. So I just wanted to do that. I felt remiss, and after I hung up, I was like, that was the point that I came on here, and that's why I wanted to donate my time as well to help bring a light to this cause. So that's all right.
Thanks. Is he home with his parents? Is he able to be
home with his parents? And he's just like a beautiful boy. We just love him dearly. He just lifts all of our spirits every time we see him and hear from him. He's very special. So I'm grateful.
That's awesome. I'm so glad you texted me to come back.
Yeah.
Thanks, Vincent.
Thank you. That was the point.
Thanks. And everybody, this is the reason we're here today. So please, if you can donate, the link is up right there. Donate to daytimestarsandstrikes.com.
Sure.
Vincent, you be well. Thank you so much.
Bye, Krista. Bye, honey.
Bye, Vincent. Good to see you.
Krista, it's so good to see you. Here's Mikey.
But I have to tell you, every 10 words I don't hear. I'm so sorry. And I'm not hardwired in.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd say one every 10, then it just glitches.
Okay.
So, but I can hear most everything.
All right.
Mikey.
Hey, Krista. Well, thanks, Krista. We tried to have you with.
How are you?
With Rebecca earlier. So Rebecca Staub was here, and she sends her love.
Oh, I love her. She hasn't aged in a minute. She is just so beautiful, inside and out too. I had her little rescue dogs and cats on Facebook.
Oh, yep. She does a lot of that.
See, now you're cutting out. I don't hear you. Yeah. Oh, yeah, she does. She does.
All right, Krista.
We are.
Sorry, I'm gonna
Yes. Oh, quite all right. It's so good
Nice
to see
catching up with you,
everybody.
Krista.
I know. Sorry, Mikey.
Oh, I know.
A live show. Bye, Krista.
Mikey, call me.
I'll have to call you because this is crazy.
Yeah,
All right.
we're
Okay.
trying.
I know it's crazy.
Bye, Krista.
I want to see everybody. I'm trying to get a Facebook page for Mindy, for me. Okay. Keep trying.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Mikey, sorry about that. We'll come back to you, Mikey. Zimmer. Robert.
Still here.
I'm here.
Still here, hanging around the
Can you
block.
hear me okay? I've now got my iPad Pros on that are brand new.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
sounds
Were you
okay. All right.
walking? Is that why you were late?
I was, but
Please welcome your co-star, Crystal Chappell.
Hi.
Hey,
Oh, beautiful lady.
It's the it's the grandparent hour.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I had no idea.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
congratulations, Crystal. That's exciting.
Thank you, and to you as well. Oh my gosh. I know I've been following you on Facebook but I really didn't. I mean, you don't understand until you understand, right? And it's just like, oh my gosh, the level of love.
Yeah, it's a totally different thing.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
That picture you posted today.
The little feet.
The little feet. That is something. That is something.
I was with a friend the other day who referred to her grandchildren as crack. She said they're like crack. I mean, you can't get enough. And then later on in the same conversation, she referred to them as dessert.
Oh.
Like, I mean, grandkids, they're like dessert.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. And it's beautiful to see your children just
as
being
parents.
Wonderful parents.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just posted a picture of Crystal at a fan. It was Ricky Paul's fan event on a boat like 15 years ago. And it was Jake who, right? It was, he was a baby, he was like, how old was he then? I mean, I think that was 2000. Actually, that was 17 years ago. I think it was 2004.
So almost 3.5, like something like that.
Wow.
And you know what?
And now he's a dad.
He's a dad, and he just got hired, and I haven't said this to anyone, at 21 years of age to a local fire department that is, hard to get into. And he has worked his ass off.
Oh.
All glory to God, as he says. But I tell him, but you worked your ass off. So
yeah,
my kid's awesome.
That's great.
Anyway, just saying.
You're allowed.
Thank you.
My kids are also awesome.
Yes, they are.
And my kids are really, really awesome.
That's
certainly, of course.
That's right. Anyway.
As are my grandchildren. I was saying my only little girl granddaughter learned to walk in Italy. The family's been over in Sicily, and she started walking, which turned their wonderful vacation into a nightmare.
Oh, is she walking like she's bombed on limoncello?
Yes, yeah. She was.
What is your granddaughter's
imitating
name?
her grandmother.
I just say that because Kim and I have been bombed on limoncello in Italy together.
That's a great memory. That's a great memory.
I have a bottle of homemade limoncello for my brother-in-law in our freezer.
Woo-hoo!
Wow.
It is something.
I haven't tried to
lucky.
make it myself yet. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite delicious.
Kim, what is your granddaughter's name?
Sophia. I mean, not Sophia. Sophie. Jeez. Sophie Ray. But they call her Fifi. They call her Fifi for
Get out! That's my mom.
Oh, really?
My mom. My mother was born Sophia Henrietta, and for some reason, when she moved to the United States, she became Fifi.
And I had an aunt whose name was Henrietta.
Wow. And do you remember our fan Henrietta?
Oh, yes. Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we
had a
called
great
her Aunt Heine.
Why not?
Why not? Why not? What do you three remember about your time working together?
First of all, they're amazing actors. I honestly, I didn't know the Josh Riva thing because I didn't watch the show.
Neither did I.
How dare you?
No, it's awful. I was an ABC girl, so I knew like all the ABC people, but what I got was just two amazing actors and strong, passionate people who helped me. Where's my husband?
I know. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Who helped me grow like tremendously. These are the two of the most amazing human beings. Not just good actors, great actors, but like two great people. I've got people coming over. It's football day. You understand?
Yeah.
Football. We're like crazy mad. Did you see the end of the Green Bay game?
I'm talking about football. I don't really care about the Jets.
Her Jets didn't do well. Her Jets didn't do well.
I know. I'm just saying. We've got people coming over for football.
Kim, what do you remember about going through Crystal's boobs?
Oh my God! Playing
Right
that
here.
portrait was the most fun I've ever had on the show. They would freeze that portrait, and we could put our hands through. We could get our way through. It was
Oh
great.
my
I
goodness.
love because I didn't get to be all these different characters, but Robert and Crystal got to portray all of these characters from other centuries, and I had so much fun watching the two of them create these different characters.
You're on the Zoom, just so you know.
I love that Crystal's having not a Super Bowl, a
We just
party.
went football.
Right?
Oh, that's great. Kim and Robert, thank you so much for being here. Kim, I'm going to text you. Jeff Branson might try to get back if you want to come back in a little while.
I would love to see Jeff.
Give my love to Jeff.
I will, Robert.
Yeah,
okay, Kim, I'll text you in a minute. And
Bye,
Robert, thank you, my
Crystal.
friend.
Bye, Kim.
Crystal, don't
Love
go
you,
anywhere.
Crystal. Love you, Kim.
Don't-
I love you, Alan.
I love you, Robert.
Take good care,
Congrats.
my friend.
Bye, you too. Crystal, joining you now. Jessica Lucia, Michelle Ray Smith, Orla Cassidy.
Oh my gosh. Hi, you guys.
It's a girl party.
It is a girl party.
It is. It is.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh my goodness. It's so
Somebody
good to
has
see you.
feedback. I don't know who.
It might be me. Hold on.
I feel emotional. It's like, what's wrong with me?
It's been a long time. Been a long time.
It's like, what's wrong with me? You get the feedback. There's a delay. Yeah, there's a delay. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay.
So I've been at, we're here raising money for
I'm a broken
autism.
record.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I'm gonna try. It's Michelle. Michelle, try to come back in. I'm gonna kick you out because it was your sound. We're here doing this for charity. Who's helped you along the way? It's all about giving back, and who's helped you along the way? Or I might have muted you, but I'll unmute you. There you. Nope. Orla, unmute yourself. Jessica, why don't you take it away?
Oh, who's helped me?
Yeah, who's
I mean, who hasn't? To be honest, from the start, I mean, if you have a great support system, which I've always had in my personal life, I think it makes you better at accepting help in the other places in your life, whether it be work or other relationships or whatever. And I've always had an amazing support system, just starting as a wee one.
Gotcha.
And I think that's helped me just kind of know who my people are. And when you have good people, you have always built-in support in everything. And, going to Guiding Light, very easy to be intimidated going to such a well-established show with the most major of the majors in soaps, and the warmth and the welcoming and the mentorship and the just, carrying me along. I mean, I rode on Crystal's back for how many years, Crystal? Just because, carrying me along.
I don't think I carried you at all. I think we did this together. And
well, you didn't know it, but I was doing it because I learned so much from everybody, specifically at Guiding Light. I can't even. I always talk about it was the best job ever. I learned
Thanks so much.
Michelle, you're just getting feedback, so I'll turn your mic on when I'm ready to come to you. Orla, what about yourself?
You have to repeat the question because I was having a little audio. What was the exact?
Oh, sure. You know, we're doing this for charity, helping others. Who's helped you along the way?
Well, I'll tell you who helped me get on Guiding Light more was Jerry verDorn, because I was used like every couple of months, every time there was like a lawyer thing. And then it was such a great set that I felt comfortable enough one day to just stop by when I was walking by 44th Street, and I walked up to makeup and hair and said hi to people. I mean, I wouldn't normally do that with any job, but like, that's the kind of place.
Well, say hello to Jerry verDorn right there.
And I remember going up, and I hadn't worked in a long time, and it wasn't my purpose for saying hello, but I went up and I said hello to everybody. And sure enough, like a week later, it was like, oh, here's the storyline. I thought, I wonder who was responsible for that. So
love you, Jerry.
No, not me.
Jerry.
I love a few hints, but not me.
Jerry, what was it like working opposite Orla?
Oh, it was a dream, because a lot of anonymous people had gone by doing lawyer-like things before Orla came along. And she gave it a stamp of personality that, well, not only myself, but the writers saw and said, these kind of things need to be more personal and more part of Springfield. And that's what Orla delivered. And she was, as Betty would say, Betty Ray, she's a guiding light type, in that she was serious, but not crazy serious. She was like Locke Wallace. She said, you know, the floor is loose, the floor is nice, we're not doing brain surgery, but when it comes time to act, it's time to act. That's exactly what Orla brought to the table.
I remember you being I remember being competitive with you about how nice we were to the jury actors. And you would bring like chocolate espresso beans or something, and I would, you know, like we would trying to make them our friends.
Oh, that's great.
I remember she had one great line to we had a female judge one time, and something happened on the floor, and there was a big pause, and Orla just looked at her honor and said, "May I say how nicely your robes are flowing today, Your Honor?" And I knew then I was in trouble. I'm going to have to bring homemade cookies to make up for that.
That's so funny. Crystal, what about you? Who's helped you? You know, when you think?
I'm kind of with Jessica. I like every human being that I've ever encountered in my life who taught me a lesson. I'll just go really broad here. Go wide. But I don't know. I mean, Paul Rausch really helped me get on the show. I'll be honest. He did. He called over to One Life to Live when I was on there and said, "When's her contract up? I want her," which kind of was cool. But you know, it's just everybody. All of these actors that I got to work with, they made me a better person, better actor. So it's just, this ensemble is like no other.
And for you, Michelle, give me a second. I will unmute you.
Hey, everybody. I think I fixed the problem.
Oh, there you go. Good.
Hi, guys.
What about you, Michelle?
Oh, my gosh. I've had so much help from so many great organizations.
God bless you.
The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention has really been a huge, just special thing in my life. I lost my dad to suicide in 2003. So they were amazing. I get emotional. Sorry. Sorry, I'm gonna cry.
Understandable. Then, don't apologize at all.
Sorry. And then when I went through cancer, I had so many people that helped to save my life. So
cancer sucks. And I'm doing a show October 21st with an organization called Twist Out Cancer, which is interesting. They match people going through cancer with inspirational artists to present them with a beautiful piece of art.
Really? Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
It's really interesting.
I need to find out more about that because
I'll send you information. But yeah, it sounds like it sounds like an incredible organization. Ms. Jessica, how are your two little girls?
Fabulous. Really good. My little one, I'm in my parents' home right now. We're having a little mini celebration because she's had a week-long birthday this week. So she turned 4 on Thursday, and it's been a party.
I forgot she's a Libra like me.
She is. She is.
Libra.
When's yours, Michelle?
September 24th.
Nice.
Happy belated.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, I just have to chime in here. I would never tell my kid this, but I was like, oh, I'm so glad my grandson's a Libra.
Yeah.
I really had that moment, and I was like, okay.
Crystal, why am I just finding out right now that you have a grandson?
Oh my God, you don't know?
That's true.
I am so sorry.
You're not on social media.
I have a beautiful little grandbaby. He was born September 29th. His name is Ezekiel Walker 7.
Congratulations.
God's strength.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Look at your face. I love
That's the best news ever.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Oh my goodness. Thank you.
It's doing great.
Hey, Jerry, I will see you in a little. Okay, I'm going to move you out.
Thank you, Mr.
Orla, your son, please tell us about Ronan's music.
He, they played his song on WFUV this summer, which was like such a treat. And it's all because my husband is just fearless, and he randomly emailed Danny DeVivo, who runs WFUV, and said, would you listen to my son's song? And I was like, well, you did not. And he said, yeah, I did. And then the guy got next day, he said, tell him to send it to Elisa Ali at WFUV. And of course, we said that to my son, and he didn't do it for 3 months. And then he did it. And the next day, he wrote back and said, I'm playing your song on Monday. I'm featuring you at noon, blah, blah, blah. And then we videoed in the car. I was beside myself. I was like laughing and crying. And it just was really sweet. And he made it all himself in his dorm room during COVID. He figured out how to mix music. I mean, I don't even understand how these kids, they just look it up. They just look it up and they figure it out. And so now, of course, I'm having a little trouble keeping him in college, but whatever.
One step at a time. And Michelle has little Jake, or not so little anymore?
Gosh, I was pregnant with him at the end of the show in 2008, and he just turned 13.
Ooh, teenager.
I don't know. He's taller than me. His feet are bigger than mine. He plays every sport under the sun, and I don't know. I mean, he's the only one I was blessed with. He's the only one I could have. So I just love being a mom.
Wow. Amazing. Well, Michelle, Orla, thank you so much for stopping by. Love you both so much.
Thank you for doing this. You're amazing, Alan.
Thank you, Alan, too.
Love you guys. Love you guys.
Hey, girl.
Bye, guys. Bye.
See you soon.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. Give me a second. All right. Joining you two ladies is Mr. Ricky Paul Golden. We got into a little trouble with you two.
Ricky.
Hi, Ricky.
Hello.
How are
Hi,
you?
everybody. How are you?
So good to see you.
I have these new ear pods, and it's the first time I'm using them. So you guys look fantastic, Alan. Thank you so much.
You're
Crystal,
so welcome.
Congratulations on the baby. I saw the feet in the picture. I was like, yeah, they're delicious. So yes, you look gorgeous. I love your earrings.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, they match the thing in the back of your head. Curtains match the earrings.
This is Mama's house.
Hi guys, what's happening?
How are you?
Thank you. This is great. This is really great to see everybody.
It is.
It's great to see you. What do you remember about your time together, all of you?
Oh,
Ricky came
Alan,
between.
I remember everything. And the things mostly that I remember I can't say right here with everybody. But I will do a tell-all book. And
oh, no.
Oh yeah, see, look who's that's who's worried right there. The first one, Crystal. I'm only kidding. What do I remember? Sorry for doing all the volume stuff. My God. Well, I was just talking to Ellers, and the thing that I remember really, I'm stealing this from Beth, but what I remember mostly is having the most fun ever, like always laughing. Being on set and having a job that lets you laugh so much and have such a good time. But it's because the people that you're with and that was your family. So even if you had your family or you had your whatever you were going, your parents or if you had siblings, whatever, when you got to work, it was your other family. And it's really like your family that you could always tell the truth with everything that you felt could just pour out of you. I mean, that's what you were at work to do anyway, pour out emotions and be in all these other relationships that weren't real, but you give it everything you've got. But it's all in between the cracks of all of that time that I think, were some of my best times ever, especially on this show.
And you ladies, anything pops to mind when you think back to working, the three of you? And
I'm so excited. It was very exciting. I was really pretty new. They threw me in there with Ricky Paul Golden, and I was like, oh yeah. And then they threw me in there with Crystal Chappell, and they made us in a little love knot ball of fun. And I was so excited to have like a story because I was so new that it was the most exciting time of my life. Really just a joy. I could have stayed on set all day long. I didn't have to be working. I never wanted to leave. It was fantastic.
A love knot ball.
It was a love knot ball. You know what I mean? It's like this. Remember?
Yeah. Love ball. That's exactly what it's called.
Right.
A love ball.
Truly. Yeah, I just think, that was like some of the best stuff that I got to do anyway, because it when you're just sort of playing the person who's making everyone's lives miserable, it's fun to kind of, get into a story where there's a little bit of heart. And so that was truly amazing. And these two were like
literally a heart.
Literally, that's what thank you, Jess. Thank you. Literally Gus's heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Crystal, Jess, love you both. Thank you
love
so much. Congratulations
you all.
so much.
Oh.
Enjoy every second, Crystal. Enjoy
you
every second. You're so welcome.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Love you.
Bye, ladies.
Ricky Paul Golden.
What's up, Alan Locher?
Ms. Beth Ellers. Oops. Ms. Beth Ellers.
Hello.
Ricky Paul Golden. So nice to see you two together.
Hi. I was talking to Ricky. Mine is echoing all over the place. I was talking to Ricky.
Oops.
Mine is echoing all over.
Beth, I'm going to kick you out. Try to sign on again.
Yes.
Okay. She's just having. Ricky, how are you boys?
Oh well, they're great. I've got two boys. I've got a 10-year-old named Kai, and I have a 4-year-old.
That blows me away. 10.
Blows you away. It blows me away. Yeah, he's 10. And a 4-year-old named Rio. So Kai is he's really cool. He's chill. He's laid back. He's got the long hair.
Rio.
Little dude. That's
Hey, Beth, do you have YouTube open elsewhere?
Do I have room to what?
No, do you have YouTube open? Okay, it seems like it just got better.
No, this happens to me all the time when at work. My Zoom never works. It echoes. I don't know what it is. This is my work computer. I don't know.
No, it's working fine now. It's working fine. Yay! Ricky, continue. So 10-year-old. He was talking about the boys.
Oh, yeah. So so the 10-year-old's a cool, laid back dude. He's great. He's a Libra. And we were because the ladies were talking about signs before, Beth and the kids, and Crystal had a grandbaby. Do you know that she had a grandchild?
Oh my God.
Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Congratulations! Yeah. Wow.
September 29th.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's like, I'm so glad the baby's a Libra. So I get it. Because my 4-year-old is a Gemini and you never know what you're going to get. Like, you know, some people might not like Capricorns. Some people might love Capricorns. And I get along with my sons. The Gemini, though, I have to be honest, he's a tricky little guy. Very smart. I think already, you know, doing circles around me. And it's amazing experience, but I'm learning a lot.
And Beth, how are you? Your two boys who are much older.
Much older. I'm not a grandmother yet. But, they're 20 and 22. Yeah. Big kid.
I freaked out when Beth told me when we were talking about it that Hank is 22. When I first auditioned with Beth and I had a scene with Beth, she was pregnant in the actual scene, for real, in real life, on camera and off camera. And I even remember saying, I have to do this screen test, and the leading lady, the star of the show, is pregnant. I mean, how good is this going to be? How am I going to, and it's kind of like, I've got to flirt with her, and I'm, you know, like the elephant in the room. There was 3 of us in the scene. All right? You were very pregnant.
Who's the elephant in this scenario?
I was the elephant in the room. But I can't, and so Will is 18.
20.
My God.
They're 2 years apart.
So that's 20 years ago that we auditioned together.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
And I had said to them, look, I'm going to get pregnant again. Do I have any storyline coming up? And they were like, oh, no, you're good to go. Cut to, no, we're bringing on a new leading man for you. And I thought, how the hell is this going to work? I'm pregnant and you're writing it in? Like, but it did. It worked. And he didn't come.
And not just any leading man. Right? I mean, how many leading men did you have before me, Beth Ellers?
Oh my God.
Can you even remember their names? Or
3 or 4?
Like a lot. Like a
yeah,
lot.
You had a lot of men.
Okay, all right. I had a few.
You were very busy. That's going in the book. I'm telling you right now. I wanted to put the sound on, so. Oh wow! Look at that! Oh, look how. Oh, I feel like that was yesterday.
Babies.
Right?
Wow.
I remember shooting that. It was a little fuzzy, but foggy. But I remember that.
What you know, fans loved Gus and Harley together. What do you think made it work? Besides you two.
I think a lot of the comedy. We both like to play that shticky stuff. Like to make the crew laugh, you know. I don't know. We sort of all the leading men. There's that whatever that personality is, you know. And for me and Ricky, we had our thing that came together, and I don't know. He wanted to hang out for a long time, so we stayed together, and it was fun. The kids were fun. Watching Ricky with the kids was fun because he wasn't a father yet, so they were like dogs. And he would, do you remember this, Alban? He would send them to go get him coffee, and then they'd come back and he'd give them like an M&M. I was like, "You're not puppies. What are you doing?"
It was good for them.
Good practice for fatherhood.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved having kids on the show and then leaving and not having any kids and not having a real wife. In fact, I told Greta just recently, you know, it's only like a year or two ago that my own relationship, my own marriage went further and longer and surpassed my television marriage with Beth Ellers, because that was my longest relationship that I ever had with this lady right here.
Is that true, Ricky?
It is true.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah.
How long were we together in the show? Like 8 years, 9 years, 10 years?
Alan, can you help us? How long were we together?
Jill, can you help me? I don't know that for sure. Jill might have to text me while we're doing this to let me know.
It was a long time. It was great. Yeah. But the kids were fun too. I mean, that one of our kids had a bigger career than we had. He was off doing, who was he starring with in a movie?
Matt Damon.
Right? And he was doing it. I remember going to visit him in a movie that he was shooting in Central Park. He's 6, right?
Right.
He had bodyguards.
What was? Do you remember his name?
It was the Nanny Diaries, wasn't it, Beth?
Yes, with Scarlett Johansson.
With Scarlett, yeah.
I thought he did a Matt Damon movie too.
He did a Matt Damon movie. Yes, he did. It was a serious movie. I can't remember which was good.
I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, he. It's always nice when the child is meeting these major stars.
Hey, we taught him everything
You
he
let
knows.
them hang out with
Sure.
you on set.
We taught him everything he knows, Alan, like coffee with just 2 sugars and just a little splash of cream. That's
Zach and Jude were the baby's names.
Yes.
And Brandon, one of our fans, said 8 years.
8
years.
I was right.
Thank you, Brandon.
8 years.
Felt like 28 in a good way.
Here, while I have you, because I know fans will be thrilled, I'm going to take a picture of the. Ready? Because getting you two together. 1, 2, 3.
See, I try not to do. Laura Wright used to always make fun of me because I would smile too hard.
Yes, I remember.
Can you relax. It's just like give a normal smile. I still can't smile. Normal.
You know what, Beth? I remember that in a million photo shoots. She's like, lighten up.
You weren't a fan.
She's like, I am.
Beth, you weren't a fan of photo shoots.
Oh God, no.
No.
God, no.
You know, we're raising money for autism today, and you know, I've been asking some folks, you know, raising money is about giving, you know, and helping others. Who's helped you along the way, Beth? In general.
I would have to say most recently in my career change and going into politics and policy that there's been a lot of women, you know, holding their hand down to me and pulling me up, mentors and otherwise hiring me. You know, there can be some ageism and you're walking into a job interview and you're like, I realize I'm not fresh out of college. And they're, you know, giving me that chance was really meant a lot to me because that's scary. You know, it's a very scary thing to go from something that I was, you know, fortunate to be kind of good at and successful in and 180 degrees in the other direction. And I'm really, really grateful to those women.
And Ricky, for you?
That's a great question. As far as I heard you talking to some of the other cast members, as far as the cast goes in those days, Beth helped me an awful lot getting on the show because it was her show, right? And it really was.
Not my show.
Well,
You're
okay.
It was not
Zimmer
my
might
show.
say otherwise, but listen, you know.
Well, Orler just thanked Jerry because Jerry had a lot to do with getting Orler back. So, you know, there's people who help, you know.
Yeah. So Beth, it was in regards to the show, Beth, and on the show on a day-to-day, moment to moment was Ron Raines.
Yeah.
So Ron and I were incredibly close, and he still will text me, keeping me in sort of like in a real dad role. My dad, I didn't really have a dad growing up, to be honest. I mean, I had a biological dad who was off being very busy and famous. But Ron was really there for me, and he was even there. And after I left too, and I would just get texts from him and emails checking in with me to make sure that he was thinking, you know, to let me know that he was thinking. Just a really great father figure for me. And I have to say this too, somebody that really helped me tremendously was sort of the real first relationship, adult relationship that I had in my life was Greta. So my girl, my wife now. So she really helped me in the last decade become, you know, a real person,
Wow.
you know, and, you know.
That's awesome.
Really nice.
And become
Ricky,
a
my
dad.
friend.
I mean, you know, couldn't have done it without her.
No, you kind of need that. Well, Ricky, thank you so much for being here. Beth, I'm going to keep you around to bring Liz Keifer out to say hello. And Ricky, thank you so much for doing
I love
this.
you guys. Alan, thank you so much. Anything you ever need, Beth, I'll call you later.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later, Ricky.
All right.
All right. Bye, guys. All my
Bye,
love.
Ricky. All right. Liz Keifer, Beth Ehlers, Harley's Angels.
Hi, gorgeous.
Wow. How are you? Your face. So good to see you, babe.
Yeah.
Been a long time.
It's been a long time. And, you know, you just, the minute you got on camera right here, it's like, oh, yeah, right back at it. Just very easy to work with you all the time. And it's easy to watch you.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, babe. You too. You know, I could have used you have just the loveliest energy in the world. If people, those of you who have not met Liz in person, you don't know that she's just this light. And I could have used you a few times this past couple of years. I was going to call you, but I thought that might be.
We have to get together. We should.
I would love to see you. Yeah. I mean, there's been kind of a pandemic going on.
You're not that far. What do you remember about your time? I mean, you and Ivana, the three of you, a girl's friendship on television, strong women. Strong women.
Yeah.
All having babies too at the same time.
Yeah, and not being competitive with one another and supporting one another, and stuff that women are still fighting for. To this idea that women are just catty with each other and can't. As I just said with Ricky, the people I have to thank for where I am now really are the women who helped me move up.
I tell you two and Ivana, that photo shoot of Harley's Angels is one of my favorite photo shoots I did in my 13 years.
That's iconic. Yeah.
Yeah, those photos were great.
Yeah.
I wish I had them because I have a lot of photos from there. But
well, yeah, and it was nice to not have to do a photo shoot with a man where you're both doing this and doing this, and we could just have fun.
Yeah. That was fun. Good ladies, and just good people. And you're right. The lack of there was no competition.
Yeah,
it's just
so. Well, we also all started having our babies on Guiding Light at the same time. You know how it's contagious, extremely contagious.
It is.
It's in the water.
It was just Laura started the first one with the pregnancy test, and then it was just like boom, 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 dominoes.
Who was? You were the first or Laura? Did you say who was the first?
Because I remember when Laura called me in her dressing room and was like, "Look."
Fiona for me. Fiona was right before me. Then I came in, and then it just yeah. And we'd all go back to Montclair together on the ferry. All of us.
But what's truly amazing is now watching Kim, Crystal, Robert be grandparents.
I started tearing up backstage when I was just listening to them all talk about their grandparents.
Wow.
Grandbabies.
I'm not there yet. My kids are 20 and 22. I don't know if I'm there yet.
Yeah.
But it was beautiful.
Well, Beth, great to see you. Thank you for doing this. Liz, I'll see you in a couple minutes because we're going to do one more segment before bringing Jerry and Michael back out.
It's been a pleasure. Everyone, thank you for watching and for donating. You're all such wonderful, wonderful people. And we love you. We love the fans. The best fans in the world are daytime fans. Thank you, guys.
Bye, Beth. So good to see you. All right. Jeff Branson, Shayne, Lewis, Gina Tagnoni, Kim Zimmer. Hey.
That's a surprise. You didn't tell me Kim was coming.
Yep.
Hello, my son, my handsome son.
That's right.
You look,
Jeff,
so much like my real son.
He does.
He does.
Like right here.
So much like Jake.
Jeff, I'm having trouble hearing you. You're not muted.
Volume?
Turn up your volume.
Maybe volume.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Come on, figure it out.
I know. See? Kim, you're not the only one.
I know.
Like people.
I need my grandkids to help me do this stuff.
Jeff, try to come back in one more time. I'll kick you off. Just try to get back on.
Hi, Gina.
Thanks for coming back.
Hi, babe.
Thanks for coming back, ladies.
I couldn't believe your piano playing.
Wasn't that great?
During COVID, I bought one of those little just electric piano,
Yep.
And I swore I was going to learn to play.
I know. I know. It's tough. Same thing. But I thought you played the piano. You just sing beautifully.
I don't play the piano.
Oh, there you go. Happy with the audio.
Yeah, your sound just got better.
Yeah, sound just is awesome now. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah,
sounds great.
Awesome. Is that your house? Because I love it.
Oh, it is.
Which one? Is this your place in New Mexico?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Gorgeous. Looks
Oh,
gorgeous.
Kim, all, you know, wood. Yeah.
Kim.
Oh, wow.
You
Yeah.
live there full time?
No. We're out here now, and we've been out here for a month, and then we'll come back out to ski after the holidays, and then we probably will come back out in March. March, April. We get out here about 3 times a year.
Great.
But it was great because Jake, my youngest son, who looks exactly like Jeff Branson, is doing
he
a movie
looked
in Santa
just
Fe.
like him.
He's doing a movie in Santa Fe, so we were down in Santa Fe for a week taking care of his dogs. So,
Oh, wow. Oh, great. Oh, that's awesome.
And how's
Come
your
on,
handsome
Jeff.
hubby, Gina?
He's good. He's good. We're in Jersey. We're in Jersey now.
I know it's ridiculous.
Not too far, around that area. Love it. Just kind of, different life. We were in.
Are you still in your same place?
No, we got out of Hoboken and now we're in the suburbs.
Oh.
Yeah, which is really, I feel
Probably
like
not far. She's not far from me and probably not far from you, Kim, but
right.
Well, you'll have to tell me where she is, Alan, when we.
Yeah.
Because
when we're not on television. Here he is.
Yeah.
Let's see if this works.
I think there's a dinner or something. Please, God, I'm going to take dinner. There he is.
I'm gonna have to use my phone.
Turn it sideways if you can.
Holy shit, I can.
There you go.
My goodness gracious. Hi, everybody.
Thanks for trying, Jeff, because I know fans were excited to see you.
I'm excited to talk to everybody. Last year was tough with homeschooling. I think I broke every device in my house. So.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Wait a minute. You have kids? You're homeschooling?
I do. Yeah.
Yes, he has a boy.
You're old enough to homeschool. How old are they?
He's 7. 7. Man.
Oh my God.
Wow.
No, that blows me away.
He's amazing. So we had homeschool last year, and we went through 3 laptops. We went through his laptop. There was a phone thrown by me outside, away from everybody, but safely thrown. Yeah, it was rough. It was an interesting year.
Yeah,
it's so nice. I can't
believe he's 7.
It's so wonderful to see all 3 of you. It's so wonderful to see all 3 of you.
You too, Jeff. Tell your wife I said hello, please.
I will. She loves you to death. I will.
Yes.
I'm turning this light down because I'm like.
Yeah. Sorry if I'm like rocking I'm on the phone, everybody. So I'm gonna be.
Jeff, are you in California? Mm-hmm. Are you West Coast? Okay.
Yes, I'm West Coast all the time now. Yeah.
And do you love it? You're there.
I'm here. I love it. I love.
Yeah.
I've invested in a couple of companies out here. I've got some roots with restoring VW buses. So
really?
Fun.
Yeah. I've had one most of my life. I had one in storage when we were in New York. I just never. It was like my parents took care of it, or my mother did. She stored it for me and everything. So I never thought twice about it. Came out to California.
We need to talk.
Oh shit.
We need to talk because my husband and I car camp in our 4Runner. So
I love it.
A little.
Van life. I love it. No, we do. So that's how I get my kid out a lot. Van. We get out. We camp. And so I have some roots here now. I've got some reasons to be here. I'm doing production on a very small film. And I still do some stuff here. But I miss it. I miss it out east so much. It's not really comparable to 2 coasts. Two very different coasts,
Yeah.
What about you? Are you out east? Where are you guys at?
I'm east.
Well,
I'm
Kim's east.
Jersey,
yeah, we're the 3 of us are New Jersey.
We have a place in New Mexico, which is where we are right now, which is why
we do need to talk. I might be coming your way.
Well, please do. We have a spare bedroom.
Really? Well, one nice thing about van life is you bring your bedroom with you. So no, we should talk. We should talk because we're coming out to Taos soon.
Jeff,
we're in Taos.
What did you?
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, we definitely need to talk.
Alan, you need to hook us up.
I will. Jeff, tell me what it was like working with these 2 ladies.
It was one of the best, honestly, and it's convenient to say right now because I'm in front of these 2 Beautiful, super talented, super intelligent women. And but the truth is, it was fucking lightning in a bottle. You know, it was amazing. It was one of the, to this day, you know, I hadn't been on the journey that all of them had been on for so long. You know, I came in really late, and I was really fortunate. I was really well received. I felt like Kim was mama from day one, and you know, Gina, just we shot some of the most, I think, some of my most grounded, touching. You know, you get out of the studio and you go into a fucking, pardon my language, you go into a you go into like a car that's badly lit outside of a farmhouse in Jersey, and you let go of everything else. You're like, I have Gina right now. That's it. I have Gina, and we are not thinking about anything else because the lighting was garish, and there was just like things that you normally get caught up in the studio, and they went away. They went away, and it became really about the work, man. The work. I had scenes with Kim and Tom in that kitchen that I cried afterward. I had my little cubby upstairs, and I went up there. I was like, "It's okay, it's okay." Ron would be like, "Go ahead in the room, young man. Go ahead." He was like, "The little
Ron
room
Reigns.
on the left. Great scene, great scene." It's amazing. It's amazing, really.
Kim, he was absolutely the best Shayne we had.
Oh my God.
Oh, forget it.
There were
You guys are super
things I
sweet.
loved
Thank you.
about each Shayne.
Yes,
and I think
but he was.
what helped me with Jeff was from day one, he reminded me so much of Jake. And now I just, to look at you now, because Jake has all of this, and you know, it's just even more so. It's like, damn, you are my son.
Kim, from my interview with Jake last week, he looks like exactly.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
Exactly.
I'm a big fan. Of
yeah. Who isn't? He's Animal Kingdom was
amazing.
so great.
My wife's not allowed to watch him unless I'm around. Okay. And I'm a guy that's got no rules. I got no rules. And I go, you know who that is, right? And you should have. That's it. You know, there's a look you get when you're watching, and I'm like, she hadn't blinked. She hadn't blinked in like moments. And I went, and it's an awesome show. And I'm just like, holy shit, she is. And I'm like, who is it? Which one is it? Which one is it? And it's Jake. It's Jake 100%. Yeah. And he has so much of your power. He has so much of your intensity.
Thanks.
Holy shit. I watch scenes with him and I'm like, you guys, I hope you get to work together in something like really like deep dive work together.
He said he wants.
Wouldn't that be great?
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
Gina, not that I need to. He's got fucking chops, man.
I know. I know. He's so natural.
Yeah.
He's so natural.
As Robert Newman would say, he actually does have bigger balls than you, Zimmer.
Them some big balls.
So scary.
Those are some big balls. Jeff, Robert Newman said to send his love. He was here earlier. Sends his love.
You know, Robert Newman is it was a bumpy time for me personally when I came on, and Kim was busy. Kim's Kim, and Kim had a lot going on in the show at that moment. And Gina and I were forming a relationship. Robert really scooped me up, and he really scooped me up, and he really I've been fortunate every set I've walked on for daytime because, you know, there's a lot of people there that have been there a long time and they're family, man. I mean, family. Definitely. I saw you guys more than I saw my family. It was your family. And Robert scooped me up and put me in the fold. And I love that, man. I do.
Yeah.
We
were talking about piano. The gentleman who came to tune my piano when I first got it here ended up working with Robert on one of the shows he was doing here on the East Coast. I don't know the name. I think it was in Connecticut. Oh. And his name was Mark Benson. And he played trumpet when he was in orchestra. And he said, if anybody meets Robert Newman and does not like him, there's something wrong with that human being. That's pretty much it. You're a jerk. You're a total jerk.
It's so cool and professional on set. It was a good lesson because I came from other sets where explosions were allowed. You know, they were inappropriate to the situation, and they were just more about people that didn't get their homework done. You know,
Yes.
people didn't have their shit together when they walked on
That's
set.
right.
The light's
That's
in my
true.
face. You're too close with the camera. Get away from and it's none of that. It's that shit. I don't know what
It wasn't
saying.
about the work.
No,
That's the thing, Kim. And let me tell you, and we say it now, there was this humility, but there was a joy in the work. There was a joy, and Kim, you set the pace for that, the tone, you and Robert. But on par, everybody just loved doing the work.
Yeah.
And it was like, there was a great amount of pride in what everybody did and appreciation.
How many times did we hear other actors who came on say, "This is the best set that I've ever worked on"?
Yeah,
it's the best set It's the best set I've ever been on.
It absolutely raised the bar. It set the bar for me.
And that's you. I think a lot of
point
that's
out.
you. And most of it's you, Kim. It really is, because you're the number one, and you could have set the tone, and the tone could have been really bad. Why are we here? What the hell are we doing? Bad. And that shit's infectious, man. That gets but instead you came with power, you came with dignity, and you hit the gas.
Well, I lost a little of my dignity towards the end in P-PAC.
All right, I want to get
stays in P-PAC.
Everybody,
everything that happened in P-PAC stays out in P-PAC.
Exactly.
It's almost like a weird nightmare.
Yeah.
But
smile, everybody. I'm gonna count down. Ready? Big smiles.
Oh,
everybody, smile. We're gonna do a picture.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Well, I was gonna say the fact is that we have hundreds of fans here. 12 years since this show went off the air. Thank you. It's all because they all love all of you. All of you,
well,
the Guiding Light cast.
We love them.
We
and
love
please
them.
Donate. Daytime Stars.
Yes, donate.
Please
donate.
Please donate.
Yes,
please
Jeff.
Any amount.
I'm so glad you were able to make this work, Jeff. Kim and Gina, thank you for coming
Thank
back. Love you guys.
Glad to be here.
I'm gonna find you, Kim.
I'll be in touch. You too, Gina.
Okay, kids.
Bye, Jeff.
God bless.
Kim. Bye, Jean.
Bye.
Woo! Jerry, Michael, Liz, and I'm going to bring out Jilly. I couldn't have done this without Jilly. Jilly, thank you for your help, Jill.
Thank you, Al.
Seriously.
Beautiful.
Guys, sorry for all of the, Liz, I know I missed you at some point bringing you out. Live TV is hard.
She rolled with it.
I rolled with it. I was texting Orla going, I'm sorry. I wanted to say hi.
And I do apologize. Crazy. I want all of you to have a moment, and Jill as well, because I know we didn't have to do it earlier. Michael, who's helped? Here we are. We're doing this for charity. It is about giving, and helping others. Who has helped you along the way?
I would have to say that, we've said it many times, but everybody that was our so-called senior, which really they were only 10 to 15 years older than we were. I mean, Jerry, I just adore Jerry. I just the integrity and character of this man, and Liz was always there for me through good times and bad times. Always an ear, and Liz is one of the kindest people I've ever met in my life. So these two right here have been, a real blessing for me. And then there's Jill Laurie right there, who was, what I was thinking about, she was a mama bear who protected the integrity of our show, our characters, our storyline. There was all kinds of stuff going on behind the scenes.
A little money after Grant left when he forgot his wallet.
There was all kinds of stuff going on behind the scenes that may or may not have been good for the Bauer family. But I know that Jill was there advocating to protect the integrity of our show, as was Jerry. Jerry was, this is an interesting thing, and I don't know many people know about this, but Jerry was kind of our conduit to management from time to time, who spoke to people and kept those communication lines open, because he garnered that kind of respect from the producers. So we did have this interesting sort of symbiotic this relationship between producers and actors that was really pretty good. And I think a lot of it was a result of the respect that Jerry had on the set between our management. So, and then there's Peter Simon and Larry Gates. The list goes on and on. But every time we would come to the show as a young actor, there was the Beverly McKenzies. There was
Chris Bernot,
Larry Gates, and William Roderick, and Jerry verDorn, and Peter Simon. The list goes on and on. But all of these actors showed us how to be professionals and how to conduct ourselves. And I just feel really lucky. It's 12 years since the show has been canceled, and I measure everything that I do, every experience I have, every working experience I have by what I had on Guiding Light.
And Michael, in life, is there somebody who's had a big impact on helping you somewhere along the way?
Yeah. There's this gentleman, William Weber, and he's this minister in New York City who's sort of the antithesis, the opposite of what you think a minister might be, but the kind of guy that just showed up for me in my difficult times, time after time, and kind of like a big brother or father figure for me. That sort of, I won't get into all the details, but as we navigate through life, there's difficult circumstances. Yeah. And he was always somebody there who was always there for me. And is to this day. He's battling 4th stage cancer right now. And I'm blessed that I'm able to show up for him the way he showed up for me. And so that's the way this thing works in life. We've lost so many people recently, and we talk about them, and I feel we don't pay enough homage to those people who have passed, like with Michael passing. Michael was always another person who was always very kind and professional to me,
Michael Tylo.
Yeah.
Yep. And Liz, for you?
Well, I mean, it goes without saying, Jerry, this was everything. And from day one, from the moment.
From day one, because also you're coming in, to a role that was played by somebody else, which
also
just
adds very popular. Yeah. Jerry,
difficulty.
My love always, because from the moment I came in for the screen test, and even advocated for me after the screen test with Betty Ray, who I was ready to quit acting right until I got that audition with her. And I remember I had the audition because I was going to go into sound editing. I was going to be happy with that. I had it, the gypsy life. And I remember getting into my car and just crying after I met her from the first audition.
I've heard that so many from actors that I've interviewed actually over the year and a half about. I was about to give up the day before, and then boom.
Yeah, I had made this deal with the universe that unless Guiding Light calls, and I really did say that.
And you were a fan, so that's like.
And I was a fan, so
and a fan.
All the women. Maeve and Maureen and everybody, everybody, but Jerry, all. And I have to say, they're in my life, and this is connected through Helen, our makeup artist, who passed a few years ago. But Helen was Mama Bear to everyone, and Helen and I both worked with a lovely a spiritual mentor. And his name is Fred, who's no longer with us here. But so both of them are not here. So but they were I learned so much and moved so much in the healing arts and the spiritual world, which is a big part of who I am. So they were pretty great. Helen needs a huge shout out for the entire
love
cast. Everybody knows that she was everything.
And one of our fans was asking whatever happened to Joe Cola. I don't even know. Oh, Joe, love Joe.
Yeah,
I love Joe.
He's probably up in.
He texted me not too long.
Oh, he did. Tell Joe I said hello. Well,
I
one of
sure
our
will.
fans, I don't. Neezy Maeve was asking about Joe. Jill, what about you?
Oh dear Lord, who like somebody?
Do we have time for your list?
I'll stick to Guiding Light, even though I had teachers and friends and my sister. And who didn't at Guiding Light? Starting, I mean, writers like Nancy Williams Watt and Roger Newman.
Stop.
Chris Dunn, Essenson and Brown, and then the actors. I don't have time for the stories, but on the screen, everyone, including Alan Locher, and then actors like Tina, Grant, Liz, at different times in my life, just like, and right down to my assistants, my writers' assistants, and the young people in the production. Guiding Light is one big, amazing collaboration. Listen to Michael Zaslow's Emmy acceptance speech, and he mentions that. And it's, I'm the luckiest person there. Anyway, that's it.
Well, Jerry, I'm going to come to you on that in a second. But, for anybody who's watched the Guiding Light, who's watched the Locker Room over the last year and a half, I could not have done this without the support of Jill Laurie Hurst. Jill Laurie Hurst has been a sounding board, a great friend, and I love her to pieces. Now we must bring out Wendy Madore, who has been helping to run this thing for 17 years. Wendy, thank you. We ran over. Next time, if we do a virtual one, I will make the segments longer so we don't have to, we were having people backed up in the green room kicking out, but I hope the fans enjoyed it. I hope we raised a lot of money.
We did. I don't have a total right now, but I have been nonstop since 6 o'clock yesterday. Yeah, it's been incredible. I mean, we've had just donation after donation or sponsor, or they've purchased items. Thanks to everybody out there that was a part of that this year and for the 16 years before this. This has been what a ride. Can't thank Liz and Jerry enough, and Michael and Alan and Jill. I mean, this has just been fantastic. Great experience. We've raised a lot of awareness and money for autism. So thank you all, and thanks to everybody out there too.
Well, great. Well, everybody here, let's smile. I'm going to take a picture of all of us. I'll count us down. 1, 2, 3. And Jerry, what about yourself? Who's helped you along the way?
Well, an awful lot of people, and mostly they're from my college days, but a lot of people like Larry Gates and Bill Rourke have shown me how to do, and Mary Stewart, might I add, and Sharita Bauer have shown me how to be a professional and how to treat other people as they come in with the family. Show them how to be a professional as well.
Well, thanks everybody for doing this. We are going to end on Mr. Jerry verDorn, and then I will sign off. Wendy, thank you. Jill, Liz, Michael, love you all. Jill, Liz just booked a Blue Bloods, everybody. So be on the lookout. Liz, that's very exciting. That's very exciting, Blue Bloods.
Yeah.
And Michael's been doing Law and Order Organized Crime, playing a priest, right, on that one?
Yep. Father Brendan Hogan.
I don't know how they ever got.
How did that happen?
How did that happen?
I don't know. There's no typecasting there.
I'd love to go into confession with you.
Well,
I bet you would, you little sassy, saucy girl. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to remove everybody and leave, and we will end on Mr. Jerry verDorn, everybody.
All right.
Michael, thanks so much.
Thank you, guys. And so, for all of us at Stars and Strikes, one of the pleasures of the holiday season is that we get to take a moment and thank you all your donors and all you good wishers for spending the past year with us. And so, from all of us at Guiding Light, because it is indeed the holiday season, from our extended family at Guiding Light, at One Life to Live, the Autism Society, for all of them at Stars and Strikes, for all of the people at the Locher Room, the beautiful Wendy, the beautiful elves past and present, and for all our secret admirers, our anonymous donors, and our guardian angels, and of course, from Santa Clauses everywhere. From our extended family to yours, happy holidays, everybody. Thank you.